Hey everyone, welcome to Snarf Talk with Chris.
And Jerry.
And this is our podcast where we give you a behind-the-scenes look as we create a comic book.
We're going to talk about TV, movies, comic books, and hopefully have a lot of guests, other writers, creators, and friends.
Check us out at snarfcomics.com. You can check out our blog and follow along with everything we got going on. Also, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Snarf Comics. And please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes.
Enjoy the episode.
I was not prepared. Sorry.
We're back.
Hello.
How about it?
This is another kind of monumental occasion.
Not kind of. This is a milestone.
It is. Everyone basically is a milestone, but this one.
That's right. That's a very positive way to look at it. Every episode's a milestone.
It is.
It's a stepping stone towards our bright and powerful future.
Underline powerful. Number 30. If you're following along, number 30.
Yeah, we're almost to my age.
We're in the 30s here, Christopher.
We'll be there in a while.
We're almost to my age. We will reach my age before yours. So.
Well, you don't have to brag about it.
Let's put that in there real quick.
What's it like to have less wisdom than me?
What's it like to be closer to being dead? Huh?
Well, we never know.
Well, you do.
Well, we never know.
Well, that's true. That is true. Good point. I don't want to get morbid here.
But we're back.
We are.
Fresh off the heels of a Snarf Talk Take 2 baseball team tournament finale.
We did. Let's talk about that a little bit. So, tournament week, that is for our baseball teams like Pinto. Now, this is like one league ahead of...
This isn't the official Snarf Talk team.
Tebow.
It's just like the semi-official Snarf Talk team.
Right. So, I have coached two teams this year. One was a T-ball team with...
with
my
me.
kid and Chris and Chris's kid.
And I coached as well.
Correct, on the T-ball team. But then I also coached my older son in a league above T-ball, which is where like kids actually pitch, you keep score. It's an actual baseball game.
It's a real baseball game.
It's legit baseball, with a little bit of rules in between, like you can only get so many pitches.
The last one,
the one
we had last night, which we won, was quite heated. It was a quite heated debacle.
And it was all because their umpires didn't seem to know the rules.
Yeah.
And the problem is that the rules for our league are posted on Tri-County's website.
Got to follow the rules.
It literally tells you how to play the game on the website. And there was a couple of missteps, on rules. A kid missed first base completely. He hit a triple. He did. It was a legitimate triple.
He almost hit the fence with the ball.
It would have been a legitimate triple had he touched first base.
Right.
And then it was appealed, and you're out.
When you snooze, you lose.
Yeah, you're out. And the other team didn't like that.
No. I got quite heckled on my way out of the ballpark.
Did you really?
Yeah.
And Mike, the head coach of the team, was getting heckled over at third base. And they said, "Oh, make sure you follow the rules."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good point.
I mean, there's good points on both sides. They are 6 and 7 year olds.
I get it, but it's also like a teaching league. Like this is a level that you teach them baseball.
Yeah.
Like once it gets to higher levels of baseball, that's when the players should know rules as well. You know what I mean? And it's a little bit easier to follow the rules to begin with because the players know how to play the game.
Yeah.
At this level, I mean, if you tell a kid to just run straight, he would run all the way out to the fence.
Yeah.
They wouldn't know where to stop or where to go. Like we're literally the entire game telling them, stay on the base. Like they're running to second. Stay on the base. Don't get off the base. Like they could tag you. Don't get off.
Yeah.
Like they have no idea that they could be tagged just because they are 6 and 7 year olds. So in order for the game to be played properly, it is really the coach's role.
Duty, the solemnly sworn duty
to make sure the game is played correctly.
Jerry is a bit of a rule follower, folks.
And you should be.
And I'm a bit of a rule breaker.
You are. You're just such a rebel. But anyway, it is tournament week. We got to pass the first round because we were seeded high enough. We were seeded 10th out of 20 teams. And then first game we played was second round. We won, advanced to third round, which we played tonight. and then got pummeled.
Yeah. If I'm going to lose, though, I knew almost every kid on that team.
Yeah.
It was Seneca. Like, I knew the coach as well.
Oh, yeah.
All friends of ours, so it's all in fun.
It doesn't make it better, Chris.
You can't win and everything.
I know. You're right. We could have played a little bit
Important
better.
life lesson. Yeah, I don't know how much better we played would have changed things.
No,
They were,
I just wanted it to
They
be
were an older team.
They were.
Bigger kids.
All of them except for like 2 or 3 players, because I was talking to one of their coaches for a while after the game. That's what kind of set me behind. And he was saying that there was only like 2 kids on the team that it was their first year in Pinto. Everyone else was second-year player, gonna be in the 3rd grade.
And our team was probably more than half.
There's 3 kids on the team that have played more than 1 year on.
So
on
almost
Pinto,
none.
So yeah.
Well, and you could tell those kids were
absolutely.
significantly better.
And next year will be that team next year most likely, because the kids will be older.
Who knows? Who knows what the teams will be?
But I mean, the majority of Pinto League next year will be second
older.
year players, because all of Keith's team was basically first year
years.
players.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be fun. Next year will be really fun.
That's the Snarf Talk baseball update.
Right, we are done for the season, but we do have an all-star weekend, or like an all-star tournament that we can put teams together for that. So I think we're going to get one together for that at some point, but that's in July.
Yeah.
But most of baseball, Fiend.
Yeah, Fiend. So we're back.
That's French.
Back in the Snarf Talk world.
Well, I mean, T-ball's still there for a few more weeks.
1 more week, right?
I think 2.
2 more weeks.
I think 2 more
that's
weeks.
fine.
This week and 1 more after that, I believe. I'd have to go home and look at the schedule, but
It's like a long season.
it is. They start. Grady's first game for Pinto was April 17th.
Yeah.
So, and T-ball didn't start until
Like May 5th or something.
May, yeah.
Well,
So that's long.
anyway, that's exciting.
It was really fun this year.
You guys really missed out on the pre-show because Jerry, by the way, seems to know every single word to the song Ground Control to Major Tom.
Yeah, it's just made. It's Space Odyssey.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
It's David Bowie, right? Mm-hmm. That's a very odd thing to know every word to.
It's a phenomenal song. I think everybody should know it. And it was in like, it's probably been in a million movies, but I remember it from Mr. Deeds.
Mr. Deeds, huh?
Yeah. You've seen that movie, right?
Yeah.
You better have.
Yeah.
Very,
I'm
very
trying to think of the
sneaky,
name
sir.
of the town.
Winchester,
Fieldville,
Winchesterton, Fieldville, Iowa.
Iowa or Ohio? I can't remember.
Iowa, I think.
Yeah.
Winchesterton, Fieldville, Iowa.
Little Winona Ryder.
Yeah. She's good looking in that movie.
That was a good movie.
I love it.
It's a very, very sneaky.
Yeah, that guy, he's been in a lot of movies
John
too.
Turturro?
Turturro, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
Nobody fucks with the Jesus.
I'm pretty sure they're making a movie based on him. No joke. I just heard this. This is news.
That seems unnecessary.
I think they're making.
max.
No, I think they're making a movie based on him.
Is it Coen Brothers?
We're gonna have to look it up. I'm not sure. I can't.
It has to be.
I don't
It's their
know who
movie.
else it would be, but that I think that'd be really cool. Because there's a backstory
see.
to him that they say in the movie, and I don't remember what it was, and like how he gets to that point of where he is. Yeah, I don't know. He's good in Mr. Deeds though. I think he's hilarious, especially when he tells him to take the fire poker and to whack his foot. Because Mr. Deeds has that black foot, because it's like frostbit and dead, and he tells him like, "Give it a whack."
There's a new Adam Sandler movie on Netflix.
I watched over half of it.
Okay, well we'll save it.
Yeah,
What we're watching,
because it turns out at this point in my life, if I sit down and am in a reclined position for longer than 4 minutes, I will immediately fall asleep.
Yeah.
I cannot keep my body awake
That's
anymore.
good.
To a point.
You shouldn't force yourself to stay awake at the end of it.
It's like my favorite time, though. It's like what I look forward to in the day.
Oh, my God, me too.
I do everything. Everything's fun. Like, I have fun in my life. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's not all, like, super stressful and ridiculous. We are very busy, but when I get home and have that time after the kids go to sleep, Amy normally goes to sleep too, but I always ask her to watch a show with me. She just knows the fact that I'm also going to fall asleep, and she probably will too. So what's the point in staying on the couch when she can go straight into the bed?
Right.
I hate watching TV in the bed.
Oh, really? That's what I do.
The reason for it was because I always said I'll immediately fall asleep if I go in the bed. But now it's like role reversal. I just fall asleep on the in my chair. No joke, I started a show last night. We'll talk a little bit about it later, but I started a show last night, and I can't tell you anything but the opening scene. And then when I woke up, 4 episodes had played.
I hope it's not the show that is in my one you're watching.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, I haven't really seen anything besides the opening scene. Literally, the opening scene is the only thing I remember. Yeah. It's sad.
That's pretty exciting.
Is it? Is that exciting? I don't think it is. You know, last episode that we did what was it? The top 10 animated superhero movies. That was really fun.
That was a good episode.
Gosh, I had a really good time with that.
You guys are in for a real treat a week ago.
Yes, you were treated a week ago.
You were treated.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay? If we don't get handwritten thank you cards for that episode.
We had some new listeners to last week's episode, and
what did we?
Yeah.
Oh,
who
dat?
Just a couple different people, and they both. Well, one of them, I asked how he liked it. He hadn't listened to it before, and he said he likes it when we talk about normal things.
Well, what we talk about is normal to us.
He said, I don't care about the Ant-Mans.
Well, we don't really discuss Ant-Man too much, do we?
Right. Anyway, he liked our drug war on drugs discussion.
Oh, yeah. That was a good discussion, I guess. Drugs.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm reading a meme that was sent to Snarf Comics webpage.
Fan mail.
And it's a Batman meme. Posted by Blaze. You know who you are. It says, Alfred, that sandwich was awful. He says, do you know what I did to the last person that said that to me, sir? What? Hired a junkie to shoot her and her husband in an alley.
What?
Oh, he's talking about his parents.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Oh, man, that's not nice.
No.
That's not funny, Craig.
So,
gosh, why would you do that?
On that note, Jerry, you got any news? Got any exciting news?
No.
I got a couple
you can start it.
pieces of news.
I'm going to search for some, though.
Yeah, I got a couple pieces of news.
All right.
All right. One is that FX's beleaguered Y the Last Man adaptation has a new showrunner. So remember, if you remember
that's scary.
correctly, they were in some hot water because the showrunner left over creative differences.
Yeah.
But we don't know. Maybe it's because that showrunner was a piece of shit and FX wanted to make something good.
Yeah, that could be.
So the new showrunner now is Eliza Clark.
What does she do? I've heard that name.
She did TNT's Animal Kingdom. I don't know what that is.
Mm-mm.
And AMC's The Killing, which I don't know what that is.
No.
But FX has said that she's an enormously talented writer and producer whose ambitious vision for Y will only enhance the mystique and allure of the powerful story. I still don't think Brian K. Vaughan is part of it or not. I don't think he's part of the show, writing or producing or anything.
Ugh, I don't like that.
I don't really like that it's on FX at all because I don't think you can do it justice. But you know what? We'll give it a chance.
Yeah, I'm absolutely going to give it a chance, and I don't care where it airs, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
I have to. I mean, it's in my bones. It's in my DNA to watch that.
But the good thing is, even if it sucks, the greatest thing in the world is just the comic book, which you can get right now.
Yes, absolutely.
And that is the full vision, and it's a very cinematic comic.
Oh, yeah.
I shouldn't even call it comic because you're not going to buy single issues of it. You buy the trade paperbacks on Amazon. And I think there's 10 volumes maybe.
Yeah, I believe so. And it's just so phenomenal. But I worry because when you see something that is, or when you've read something that's so good, and then you're going to see it in real life, like it's going to come to you in a real life form. I want it to be the exact same.
Yeah, well, at least it's not going to be a movie.
Right.
Because that wouldn't work at all.
It would never work as a movie. You'd have to have literally like
Can we
a
just be
15
done with
hour
movies?
This is what my point the other day that you completely argued with me about. And Mr. Blaze, who just posted the Snarf Comics Facebook page.
Which you guys should also post.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want to be a part of our fun community.
Because then we can discuss these things and heckle you live on air.
Yeah.
But you argued with me that theaters won't ever suffer from streaming shows. And I said basically the theatrical release of movies will definitely decline. Not necessarily go away. It'll never go away, but it'll never be the same because streaming shows and movies are going to completely overtake and encompass our like entertainment world. It won't be, I think in 15 years, about 15 years at the longest point, maybe 10 years, we're basically only going to talk about streaming shows, and it's not going to be about any big theatrical releases anymore.
Well,
because Disney's going to have a huge platform, AT&T and Warner Brothers, whatever, will have a huge platform. Obviously, like, you know, every animation studio is basically under Disney or Warner Brothers or
Universal.
Who else? Universal. They'll have a platform that they're going to put out streaming stuff on. What do they benefit from sinking a shitload of money into a theatrical release when it comes out to marketing and stuff, when you can put it on your own platform, have your own marketing team, which is basically a website designer, and be done with it. And then you're guaranteed to make money off of that.
Well, I steadfastly continue to disagree with you because I think the proof is in the pudding. And
but you had just said to me, why are we doing movies anymore?
Well, for certain stories, okay. But for what movies are good at, so continuing franchise storylines like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you can't do something like that as effectively. And they make massive amounts of money because they're events. So event cinema is not going away. Movie theaters will continue to improve, and they will continue to cater to the experience rather than... And you've already seen that, at least in a metropolitan area, where they could just keep improving these movie theaters. Eventually, they'll go more to the 4DX and stuff like that. But I mean, we're getting blockbuster after blockbuster. I mean, we're going to get Toy Story 4. Aladdin was just out. We're going to get Frozen 2. I mean, we got Endgame. We got big franchise movies that are going to continue to come out, and they make ungodly amounts of money in the movie theater because they're events and they're franchises that have history and have a fan base.
Yeah, but do you know what these companies are thinking? When you can release that movie on your own platform and not pay a movie theater a cut and not pay half of the studio budget.
It only works if they charge a ticket price for that movie.
I think that's what they're going to do.
But if they just include it into the streaming monthly service plan, that ain't going to generate near the amount of revenue.
No, they're not going to do that. I guarantee you they're going to have their regular streaming service with whatever's on there, but then those big budget blockbuster movies eventually are going to come out on their streaming apps for a price, but it'll be available to everyone. If you pay for that movie, you can watch it without a subscription to, like, you don't have to pay for their streaming service. You could just buy the movie through their streaming service for that one time.
Right, like a rental, like Amazon does.
Yep, like renting it.
Yeah,
That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you. And we're going to... You won't see them go away.
They make billions of dollars.
But it's going...
The box office.
And you're going to make even more because you don't have to give a cut to that to the movie theater.
Well,
or to your marketing campaign.
Yeah, I guess if they're going to get... Well, you're still going to market it. You still have to market it.
Not as heavy as you do with a theatrical release because it's just all online.
I mean, one thing that you don't think about is the hype that movie releases produce and movie theaters produce that may not be as big in releasing to home video, and also the amount of merchandising that drives.
Yeah.
As far as toys and other things.
It's going to take time, but pretty soon we're going to be basically living in a VR world, like
a Barbie world.
Yeah, I'm a Barbie girl. Like
yeah,
Ready Player One.
VR is going to change stuff.
We're going to be like Ready Player One, where you put on your haptic suit.
Yeah.
With your
haptic feedback.
With
suit.
your virtual reality goggles, and you just sit in this movable chair and you walk on a treadmill, and that's going to be our lives.
Yeah.
And that's how we're going to talk to people.
Which I think I'm going to buy. I think that's my present to myself
A haptic suit.
for life. No, I think I'm going to get an Oculus Rift.
Oh, they have a Oculus something else called now.
Yeah, they have one that's a standalone where you don't need to connect it to a computer.
Yes.
I don't want that hot garbage. I want the...
It's like the new and improved.
I don't know if the graphic quality is as high.
You don't think so?
I got to do some more research on this.
I know nothing about virtual
It's
reality.
$400 for the headset that connects to your computer. I already have a VR-ready computer.
Oh,
but
really?
I don't like the fact that I would only be able to use it in my office.
That
Just
doesn't work
completely not good at all.
Yeah.
But
I can see people walking in, like, wanting to talk to you, and you've just got these big goggles on, and Chris just turns to him like, what?
people
Did somebody
do
talk
walk
to you?
in now, and they, like, try to talk to me, and I don't even look up. I just don't like, nope.
Really?
Not my department.
No way.
I'm not the people person here.
You don't do that. You look up and talk to them, and then you direct them across the table to Marley.
I look up at them, and then I go, why are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm sure. You're like, have you seen how much it's rained this
I'm
year?
becoming a bit of a curmudgeon
Ooh, a curmudgeon.
in my old age. I got some more news
All right.
for you.
Alrighty.
If you want to. So it was released, since we're talking about TV, which is our favorite, my favorite anyway.
Oh, yeah.
The full comic book television release schedule for the next 3 years
For who?
for everybody.
Holy smokes.
Okay, I'm not going to mention a lot of them because first of all, I'm not even going to talk about the currently airing section.
Okay.
Unless there's something that we don't possibly know about. Which
Yeah.
the first would be Winona Earp. I don't know anything about this. It's on Sci-Fi, apparently in season 3.
I don't know anything about that either, and it sounds stupid.
A bunch of animated stuff, of course, that we probably don't watch too much.
Wait, that's not based off of like a Wyatt Earp
Apparently it's based off a
offspring.
comic book.
love child of Wyatt Earp's.
Well, I don't know. But it's based off a comic, apparently.
Okay.
Here's some that I didn't know was going on Hulu, and season 2 is One Punch Man.
I heard this.
It's an anime.
Yeah, I
thing.
heard it,
don't
but
know
as soon as
anything
I
about
heard it was anime, I was like, yeah, I'm out.
One that is something that I've heard great things about, which I haven't watched at all, is Krypton, which is on Sci-Fi. I believe it's also on the DC app.
It is on the DC app. I've seen it. I was thinking about watching it.
Okay, 2019 stuff. Obviously, we know about Pennyworth, which is coming on Epix.
Yes, that looks good.
Which I don't have Epix, but
I do not either.
Batwoman we've talked about. Everything else is, a lot of CW stuff. Black Lightning, Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, etc. Unspecified 2019. And I don't know some of these.
Okay.
So Stumptown on ABC.
Heard of it.
Cannon Busters on Netflix.
Have not heard of it.
Watchmen, of course, we've talked about.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn on DC.
Yeah, heard that.
Season 4 of Winona Earp. Man, this show is just rocking and rolling.
We're going to have to know the premise of this.
Kengan Ashura on Netflix. That must be an anime thing.
I would assume.
Season 2 of The Tick on Amazon. Did you ever watch The Tick?
I didn't watch the first season. It's only on season 2 because I feel like it's been out for a long time.
I do too, but apparently they're having a lot of problems. I think they've canceled it.
Oh, really?
The showrunner wants to keep it going, can't find any takers.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
But
I used
we
to watch.
didn't support it.
Well, correct. We didn't. But I used to watch the TV, the animated TV show when I was a kid.
Yeah, I love the
all
animated
time.
show, and I watched the live action show, the Fox show with Patrick Warburton.
Yes, I did watch that too. You're right. And I just can't get over the suit. I don't.
Yeah,
a live action suit is really hard to watch.
It's meant to be cheesy.
No, I know, but
The Amazon show looks amazing when I see the trailers. I just haven't. I tried to watch the first season. I watched a couple episodes years ago because the first season's probably been out for 2 or 3 years.
I think it's been about a couple of years, yeah, at least.
And it didn't grab me right away.
No.
I don't know. I like the animated show more than the live action show from the 90s.
I think it does better as an animated show.
Yeah, I did.
Myself.
If it was like an adult-oriented animated show, that'd be good. Apparently, The Rocketeer on Disney Junior.
Oh,
So I don't really
that's
know
kind
what
of
that's
weird.
all about.
Man, I would have liked that.
We're almost out of Disney Junior days. I got Jet, I guess. And Graham's probably got a couple years left in it.
Yeah,
but.
he's only 2. He's got a little while before I can transition him.
In 2020, I didn't know this cartoon was going on Disney XD, but Spider-Man Maximum Venom,
Really?
Season 3. So, Season 1, Snowpiercer on TBS.
That was a movie, and it was not good.
It's based on a French comic. I never saw it. Falcon Winter Soldier on Disney+. Ghost Rider Season 1 on Hulu.
They just keep bringing it back.
Keep going.
They keep going with the Ghost Rider, even though it gets terrible reviews every time.
Well, this
I
is
like the
this
first
is a show. It could be better.
Yeah, I like the first movie. We had talked about it on a previous podcast.
They did it
but
great on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They had a whole Ghost Rider season. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, that's what
And
you said. That
ABC
surprises
owns
me.
Hulu, so maybe they're using that same character, that same.
It would
guy.
be smart.
It would be smart of them. Hellstrom Season 1. Don't know what that
I
is.
don't know that.
Stargirl on DC Universe. Ghost in the Shell on Netflix. Was a big fan of that movie. So
You were? Because
of
it
the
got bad reviews.
anime movie. The
Oh,
old
okay.
movie.
The
The
live
original.
action was.
I never
apparently-
saw the live action. Wanted to.
That was Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Too.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Hilda Season 2. Y Season 1.
Wait, Hilda, the animated show?
I don't know what that is.
Because we watch the boys watch a Netflix show called Hilda.
Okay, probably because it's Season 2.
It's just a cartoon.
Okay, I don't know anything about it.
She's funny. It's good.
Why? So I'm assuming that's Why the Last Man.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they just call it Why the Last Man?
I don't know.
Stop
See,
it.
that right there bothers the hell out of me.
Terrible.
Don't change it.
That's coming in 2020. Apparently.
It's perfect.
Untitled third Walking Dead spin-off series.
Yay.
In production, Katie Keene on CW. I don't know what that is.
No.
Big Hero 6. Oh, that's already been out. Resident Alien, Season 1 on Sci-Fi. Raising Dion, Season 1 on Netflix. Woke, pilot on Hulu.
Get woke, bro. Come on.
Here's one that is Season 2. I watched the first season. It's End of the Fucking World on Netflix. Did you see that show?
No.
It was pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, you should check it out.
And they have that in the title?
No, it's like F asterisk 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 ing.
Really? Tell me the premise of this real quick. Is it the end of the world?
I don't remember. No, I don't remember exactly. It's I want to say it was British, and it's like a younger guy and boy, whatever, and he's like a sociopath, and I don't remember the premise. I don't remember it, but I remember liking it.
Okay.
I don't think it's based on a comic book, though.
They're saying it is, Christopher.
The show is based on Forsman's mini comic, which were collected into a graphic novel.
We should do a mini comic.
The 8-part program premiered on BBC, so that definitely... It follows James, a 17-year-old who believes himself to be a psychopath, and Alyssa, a rebellious classmate who sees in James a chance to escape from her tumultuous home life. It was pretty good.
That doesn't really shock me.
I got a bunch more.
It doesn't bring me in. Doesn't rope me in there,
It's
Chris.
good. In development.
Oh boy.
Just Vagrant Queen, Season 1 on Sci-Fi. Hawkeye. Marvel's 616. I don't know what that is. Port of Earth. Hit Monkey. That's on Hulu. That's one of the animated shows.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that came out, and then like follow it come like Howard the Duck.
Yep.
and-
Tigra and Dazzler,
Yeah.
Howard the Duck, and MODOK. They're all
Yes.
on here. El Vecino, Season 1 on Netflix. Blacksmith, Season 1 on NBC. Secret 6. I don't know a lot of these. American Flag. I've heard of that. Nameless City. Amped. Astro City, which is a really...
Astro City. I think I know that.
Oh, it's considered one of the best comic book runs of all time.
Really?
Astro City, yeah. It's a
I
good
guess
book.
I'm not
Apparently, I don't know. I've never read
I guess
it.
I'm not a comic book fan.
Oh, there's so many more, Jerry. Bad Medicine, American Jesus, Jupiter's Legacy. That's probably like with the Jupiter ascending thing. That's on Netflix.
It is.
Here's one that could be...
That comic book is out right now. It literally just came out, I think, the beginning of this year.
Oh, okay.
Because I saw Comixology was promoting it really hard at the end of last year. about it being released 2019. So it's new. That's
Yeah.
like a new thing.
Here's one that's exciting though: is Black Magic. That's a really good comic book. I've not read a ton of it, but it gets rave reviews, and the little bit I've read, it's been pretty good. So,
Okay.
I'm gonna skip ahead here. Untitled Deadpool animated series, which actually I think that's been actually shelved, so I'm not sure about that. There's a ton more. Invincible, the animated series on Amazon. Here's a good one for you: A Lazarus
Ooh,
on Amazon.
on Amazon.
And Amazon makes
That's good.
good shows.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Here's another exciting one for you: Lock and Key.
Oh my gosh,
On
are you
Netflix.
serious? Because Joe Hill just was doing his Nosferatu on AMC.
Yeah.
So he had that show come out, and now he's going to do a Lock and Key.
Yeah.
That dude's going to be rolling. Not that he didn't grow up rolling, anyways, because of his dad, but
Here's a couple more fun ones for you:
that's intriguing.
Sex Criminals
Oh man, that'll be really good too.
on Universal's streaming service.
I was gonna say that has to be on a streaming service because there's no
Well,
possible way.
it just says Universal TV.
Yeah, there's no possible way though that they can put that on regular TV.
Here's another one for you: Sin City.
Holy crap! What's the timeline on these? Like, is that
This is in development,
okay? So like 2020.
so they could fall apart technically. Here's another little one for you: Southern Bastards
Love it.
on FX.
Maybe I don't know. FX does good stuff. They've got Always Sunny, and that's a ridiculous show.
Stuff
You know what
gets through the cracks.
Yeah.
There's lots of. I don't know if they could do nudity,
I mean?
but
Justified was on FX.
yeah, and it's gotten more adult oriented since then. Even
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time.
the
Wait. Justified or FX? You're saying?
FX as a whole. Since they've gone to that whole FXX thing, they have
Yeah.
two networks now, I think, or FXX or something. I don't know. The Wicked and the Divine,
Huh. That'll be really good.
another Universal
These
one.
are huge comic books. Man,
Trees,
that'd be really good too.
NBC.
Huh.
Witchblade, NBC.
Okay.
Dylan Dog.
I don't know that one.
I mean, it's just a list of everything because there's so
Yeah.
much more. So I guess it's probably getting annoying. Judge Dredd TV show, Mega City 1. Lobo is a one that is coming to
That's
sci-fi.
really graphic. That's a really graphic.
So I never read much. I don't know much about Lobo. I think it was DC's kind of Wolverine, right? Like a
Kind of,
Wolverine
yeah.
Cable,
Yes.
kind of that
And it's
90s-ish.
A lot of blood.
Yeah, very, very. It was kind of during that whole Cable and Spawn and Deadpool, like that 90s revolution, I think.
Yeah.
I could totally be wrong about that. So that's the majority of stuff.
Okay.
What I gravitate towards is whenever I see Netflix and Amazon, because
Yes.
for my money, as far as like big budget stuff, they're the ones doing that.
For sure.
Like even
they're the ones
DC,
throwing
we've
them-
talked about DC, and DC is making amazing stuff right now, but it's not like on the, not that the storytelling is as good, but when you compare it
not at
to
all.
the money that Amazon and Netflix spends on some of their shows,
For sure.
Amazon stuff just always looks incredible.
It does. And like we've talked about how they're doing a Lord of the Rings show.
Yeah.
And look how much money they threw at Lord of the Rings just to buy it.
It was like
500 million.
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Like, really? You're going to throw 500 million at Lord of the Rings just to buy the property?
not
and
even
then-
to produce it.
Yeah, then you got to throw some more cash down to produce it.
Amazon is
Come on.
the world though. They have all of the money.
Yeah, they do. They do. Jeff Bezos has literally all the money.
They have it all. I mean, you
literally richest man in the world.
like Netflix is one of the highest performing stocks of all time, but I don't think they have anything even in comparison to the world in which Amazon exists. I don't
Yeah.
think Disney can touch Amazon.
I mean, they're the only competitor at the moment.
I mean, I'm just saying, as far as amount of money and size of company, it's not even in the same stratosphere as Amazon. Amazon,
Really?
yeah, no,
Disney's not even in the same stratosphere as Amazon. You don't
I
think?
don't think so. Apple's up there. It's like Apple, Amazon.
That is insane to me.
It's an insane amount of money. At one time, Apple had more
Yeah.
cash
than most
any
countries.
entity in the world.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And what's crazy about Amazon is they still don't turn a profit.
That's not possible.
Well,
how's that? Yes, they do.
put as much money back in.
They absolutely turn a profit.
Well, according
There's no
to them,
way.
they don't. They don't pay any taxes. So,
Really?
yeah, no, they didn't pay any taxes last year.
Holy shit.
They're in a growth phase. They're going to own everything.
They're in a growth phase.
Well, they are. It's undoubtable.
I mean, they've never not been in a growth phase.
That's right. It's a new company. I mean, they haven't been around that long.
No, yeah, late 90s, right?
Yeah, late 90s, early 2000s. But
Started-
they weren't really anything then. I
No,
mean,
it started in Jeff Bezos' garage
It's
when he was
crazy.
like in 98.
I want to be Amazon.
Have you seen some documentaries about him? Not like where they follow him around early in his career
Yeah.
when he actually gets an office.
He's creepy.
He is a weird dude. And he had this
We
like
shouldn't be saying that out loud.
why? He's probably watching us.
He's not probably watching us.
Yes, Jeff Bezos directly is watching us right now.
Well, all
If-
my devices.
Hey Jeff, if you are, I've probably bought all of this off of Amazon. And if you want to like throw some cash at our podcast,
Just a paltry amount.
yeah,
Like $100,000
like
a year.
100,000. Yeah, that's it. That's
If
all
you
we
could
ask.
give us $100,000 a year,
We will support Amazon.
Jerry
more.
would be full-time. Well,
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
not full-time, but
No, I would quit. I'd be full time. That'd be fine. I can make it off that.
yeah.
I will make it survive because
We probably can't both quit, though.
we would grow astronomically.
Yeah?
Sure, we would. How could we not?
what's
if
your-
we had like a full time?
What would be your 3-year strategy?
Actually, what we should do is probably hire like a production person.
Really? Do you think that would be the number one? Because I feel like marketing and then like, what did they call those? Booker. Like a booker. Like
like
somebody that goes out and books people.
Isn't that an agent?
No. People that...
Like, doesn't your agent do that for you?
No, I don't think... No, I think it's a separate thing. Like a booker, assistant, like somebody that reaches out and
Like a
sets up.
bookie? Are we gambling?
Yeah, like a bookie.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Somebody that can bet on horse races.
Yes, and do it accurately,
Yeah.
like Back to the Future.
Yeah. Any superhero or nerd-related themed named horses. Mm-hmm. Put our money on those guys.
100% of your money, Anna.
And then juice them.
Of course.
And give the other ones...
Juice them up.
like slide in a little like botulism or like botulism, like a performance dehancer
Yeah. Yes. Just like botulism.
to the other boring ass horses.
Botulism is when you have like tainted food in a can.
I thought it was like Botox. Like
No.
that's what Botox is, right? Isn't it that same like thing?
Is it? No, I don't know about that, but I know that if you open up like really old canned food where you get like the metal into it, like metal leaches into your food and whatnot, and you eat it, you can get botulism. I watched a guy on YouTube. The only reason I know that, I watched a guy on YouTube that literally eats old military rations. And he was talking about how if it had been cracked open or like any air has gotten into it, and then like water and leaching of the metal and all this kind of stuff, like rusty cans, you can get botulism from eating that. And he's gotten it before and was in the hospital and had to be treated because he got super, super sick because he's eating 100-year-old food in cans.
Well, he deserves to get sick.
Exactly.
Botox is botulism, by the way. It's the same thing.
Really?
Yeah, but it's like safe and...
Why is that a thing?
According to them, there is no chance of botulism poisoning from injections.
It has to be ingested.
I don't know, but it's a botulinum toxin, a drug made from the toxin produced by the bacterium Clostridium botulinum.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
the same toxin that causes the life-threatening type of botulism. Anyway,
Okay.
the more you know.
Cool.
Bum, 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 bum.
The more you know.
So that's basically all the stuff that's in development, although a lot of the in development stuff kind of falls by the wayside. I
Right.
feel
It
like a
doesn't
lot of times.
necessarily mean it's actually being developed.
But Yeah. Do you got any other news? I got some other things we can talk about.
Yeah, I got a couple things we can talk about. First off, really big news, and this is really bothering me now that I've read it.
Don't be bothered.
Oh, I'm really bothered by it.
You're like Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah. Oh, bother.
That was that was pretty good. Oh, bother. No, that's not good.
So, Victoria Beckham didn't show up for some of the Spice Girls concerts recently.
What is wrong with her?
And Melby is pissed, according to Google News. And, I mean...
Which one's Melby? Like Melba Toast?
She's the one that was on...
Like the car on Dazed and Confused? Isn't that the name of the car? Melba Toast?
I have no idea.
Like Matthew McConaughey's car?
I know what you're talking about, but I didn't know it was named. Mel B's the one that was on America's Got Talent. She was a judge. She's was she Sporty Spice?
Sporty Spice? I don't know.
I think she was Sporty Spice. You're gonna make me say it, aren't you?
Say what?
She's the only one that wasn't white.
Oh, racist. I
That's
don't
what
see color.
I know you don't. Turns out you are colorblind.
Okay,
but that's how I would explain it to you. A lot easier, seeing as how you apparently don't know anything about the precious Spice Girls.
Victoria Beckham was posh.
Yes, she's very posh.
Yeah, okay. She was the only good one.
Yeah. Well, and then there was Jerry.
Well, she was terrible.
She was awesome. And then there's Baby Spice.
Awful.
Awesome. And then
Color to the world.
Scary Spice.
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
She's always the one that did like claws. Or she was like the kickboxer one. Wasn't she?
I remembered Spice Girls fairly fondly until you just started talking about them, and I'm like, oh my god, this was an awful part of humanity.
The more I discuss this, it's like so ridiculous that people were into this.
Yeah.
And people still are, because apparently they're back together, like a reunion tour.
Why does Victoria Beckham even consider this?
Well, she doesn't, apparently. She probably just said, "Oh yeah. Let's meet up here, and like I'll meet you at 7:00. We'll do a show. That good? All right, yeah. That's where I'll be."
Because I'm like 100% sure that all these other people are just lifetime colossal failures.
Never gonna call
with no
them
money. But she's like probably a billionaire.
There was a story just a month or two ago about Mel B, because apparently she's a severe alcoholic.
Okay,
she's
that
claiming
lines up just about right with what my expectations would be.
So she's claiming she's not, but her ex-husband maybe, or ex-fiance or something, said that she was super abusive and she would always be stumbling drunk at home. Well, she had a bit of a spill at home where she fell off a balcony and basically severed her hand.
Oh my god!
Is what the report said, and then she had to get it reattached and had it in like a sling for a long time. But this literally just happened 3 or 4 months ago. I should look it up.
What's your computer? I mean, this I know is it's not politically correct, but what's your opinion whenever men say that they're being abused by women?
Oh, no, I think it could absolutely be possible.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
I mean, I think it's possible, but I also kind of automatically like default to like, shut up.
Well, right. But I don't think it's like physically abusive, but I do feel like they could be like severely mentally abusive to a man. Yeah. I think that could absolutely happen.
But a man could also grow up a pair.
Yeah. Right. I don't doubt that. Yeah, it says Mel B hospitalized after fall downstairs causes broken ribs and severed hand.
Jeez.
Partially severed hand.
Do you think you get a hand transplant?
And
is that a thing?
When was this? Yeah, absolutely you can get. That was December 10th, 2018.
Why do you say absolutely, like with 100% certainty
they do it?
Hand transplants exist?
Because they do that.
With another person's hand?
Yes.
Could they do it like a gorilla's hand?
By that, I don't think so, no.
I mean, they're a bipedal ape.
Yeah, I don't think that works that way.
Because how sweet would that be?
Because I'm pretty sure it's really hard for them to get your body to accept a non-human hand.
I mean, is your body being like, nope, that's not my hand? I mean, it's not an organ. It's just blood vessels and
no, they know
tendons.
Yeah, you still have to. Your body still has to accept the tissue.
I guess.
Yeah. Yes, it's a thing. I know everything about
I don't know if I accept
medical
that.
stuff, dude.
Hey, Snarf Talk episode 29 just got done encoding.
Oh,
It's going to be up Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
A week ago.
Thursday a week ago, yeah.
On the YouTubes.
A week and 2 days.
Hey, guys, if you would do us a solid, if you listen,
What's the solid, Chris?
go on YouTube and just subscribe. Because nobody really goes on, nobody follows our YouTube.
No, but you could.
It's a lot of work for me to put them up there, and I just want to feel a little bit
Yeah.
better about my life.
Eliza Clark joins FX series Y.
That's what I just talked about.
The Eliza Clark?
Yeah, she's the new showrunner. Were you not
that's
listening?
who you said. Yeah, no, I was.
thinking
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I knew who you were talking about because I was reading about.
You're
this.
just thinking about Melba Toast.
Oh my gosh, Melba. Melba rips her hand off, falling down the stairs drunk. Next,
It's hard to not to admit, but to argue with that they did have some catchy songs back in the 90s.
well, yeah,
The Spice Girls.
they were catchy, but it's nothing that I would say was good.
Yeah. Nostalgic, though, nonetheless.
Now T Swift, she's got some good songs.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
I'm not arguing that. She does.
I'm not actually saying that being serious.
I am 100% saying that. She's got some great songs, man. Especially early on in her career.
They're all right.
You belong with me. You belong with me.
I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. Not at all. So they put out a new poll. What was it? What studio is doing? It'd be Warner Brothers is doing the Batman,
Yeah.
the new Batman movie. So they put out a poll
With Robert Pattinson.
yeah, the poll was about which Batman is your favorite, and then they slid in there like, do you like Robert Pattinson? And apparently, the general consensus is that people like him as being selected as Batman.
I'm getting more and more on board with it just because I don't know anything about him, and I feel like I'm prematurely judging based on stuff he did when he was a teenager.
Yeah.
And he's very much an adult now, and apparently he's been on a lot of great independent movies.
Yes.
And he kind of looks the part. I don't see any reason. I know that he's a good actor. I mean,
Yep, absolutely.
I would have liked if it was somebody like not necessarily with a bunch of baggage to bring.
For sure. There was a Reddit thread all about the movies that Robert Pattinson has done since, what was that called?
Twilight.
Twilight. Yeah, since Twilight. Because
That was a long time ago.
It
man.
was all based off of like everyone talks about Twilight, but here's what else he's done. And it gave a pretty extensive list into a lot of his movies, and most of the remarks and comments and stuff were very, very positive on all of his acting as being pretty spot on. What I'm concerned about is if he can get a good enough English or like American accent.
Oh, I'm sure he can.
But I guess he does. You do have to have an American accent, because I was going to say, who's to say it's in America? But it is. It is based in America.
Yeah, it's Batman.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
It's in Gotham City, actually.
Is that
Yeah.
is that where it's at? Gotham City, huh? Is that a district of Columbia?
That is it's supposed to be like New York City, right?
Yeah, it is. Yep. And then they say Metropolis is...
No, Metropolis is New York City, right?
No, Gotham's...
So what's Metropolis?
I always thought it was like Chicago.
Apparently, according to that movie, they're like right across the bay from each other.
They are. Yeah, they're like literally right across the ocean. Or like a small ocean.
Yeah,
a bay,
you
maybe.
can see them.
Maybe you could call it a bay.
That's what I did call it, in fact. Yeah. I don't want to peg actors for stuff they did a long time ago. Like, you know who's a really good actor that could easily happen to was like Daniel Radcliffe. He was Harry Potter. He's great in everything he's in.
So, oh man, I haven't watched this, but I really want to. The movie Horns.
Oh, yeah. No,
That's another Joe Hill book.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Joe Hill wrote the book called Horns, and then they made the movie off of it. And it's crazy. I mean, it's nothing, it's absolutely fantasy, right? But it looked really good. And Daniel Radcliffe was the main character of it.
I think he's great, and I love the fantasy genre, so.
For sure.
There was a new book, if we want to talk a little bit about comics, that I saw that I got super excited about.
Whoa.
And it's by Chip Zdarsky. It's an Image comic book, so it'd be creator owned.
Chip Zdarsky's doing the new Daredevil run.
Yeah.
It's
Well, apparently
amazing.
he's got a new book coming out this fall called The White Trees.
Okay.
And I obviously was gravitating towards it because of the trees part.
Here.
But it does look really cool. In the fantastical world of black sand, peace was hard won, and 3 unbending warriors carry the scars to prove it. Now, almost 20 years later, their children are missing, and war is on the horizon. Can they put aside their memories of the war and each other for one last adventure?
Cool.
It does look cool. One guy is like a giant tiger man. Another guy with like an axe.
Is it a limited run or a continuing story?
It starts on August 14th.
It doesn't say.
The White Trees number 1 of 2 is all it says.
This is what's crazy to me, and I'm
The
going to
artist
bring up
from Runaways.
So I'm going to bring up the fact that we don't write right now.
It's a 2-issue miniseries.
2 issues?
Yeah. Yep.
Holy cow. So this is crazy to me. Okay, I'm going to get on a bit of a tangent. So he can wrap up a whole story in 2 issues, right? So I'm sure they're going to be extended. They're going to be a bit.
They might even be graphic trade paperbacks or something.
Sure, they'll probably be longer, but he's wrapping up a story in a short amount of space, right? Like he's confining it. That is really good. It's really good when you can wrap up a story that quickly and have it all encompassing, everything you need to tell in that short of a space. But he's also, what I was going to say is, like earlier, he's writing the Daredevil book right now.
Award-winning
Daredevil book that I've talked about multiple times on this podcast because I get issue by issue. It's so good. He's also writing that Spider-Man life story book that I've been talking about issue by issue, and it just so happens he's the guy who's writing it. I didn't pick it because he's writing it. I just saw that it was a book that, intrigued me. I started reading it, and then I noticed, Chip Zdarsky's also writing this. That's a 12-issue miniseries run, so it's a full year, though.
Yeah.
So for over a full year, he's writing at least 3 books.
Right, a month.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, that's why they're professionals, obviously. But also, they're writing full comic books in a week or less.
Right.
Like full stories. And they've basically got, most of the time, I guess not every writer, but most of the time they've got the majority of the story carved out already. Like,
sure.
The beginning and then they
and
know,
depending on the artist they're working with, they could be pretty lean scripts.
Right. Yeah, they could be. But they know the end point, right? So they could be lean scripts, but even so, you got to know the story. You got to know what you're planning out.
Right.
And you've got to be able to dictate that to your artist. A lot of the time, though, when they're like Chip Zdarsky doesn't have the same artist every single book. So you've got to get a feel. If you don't know that guy, you've got to get a feel, or girl, whatever.
Sexist.
Yeah, I am. Sorry. I say guy, but that's all encompassing. That means
because of
all
the patriarchy.
Humanity. Yes. Gosh, I hate you. But you don't necessarily know the person, and you've got to get to know them. So there's like a break-in period there, right, on how you work with this person. So the first couple issues might be completely full script, or
I'm sure
like
they are
overboard, and then you wean it back from there. But there's just so much work that these people put out, and it's amazing.
It's their full-time
to me.
jobs, first off.
Yeah.
But it is sad that we can't seem to manage to finish one script in 8 months.
No, it is, and I'm getting really down on myself.
That's gonna need to get remedied very quickly.
It's so annoying.
July is my month.
Yeah, and I'm just being super lazy. I mean, like I said, when I get home, I'll sit on the couch and all I want to do is watch a show. All I think about is watching shows. I need to quit doing that.
No,
who
don't.
gives a crap about
That's fine.
TV
It's
watching?
fine. You need that too. That makes you happy. That's fine. But
there's 7 days a week. Why not watch a show like 2 or 3 days a week and write for 4?
That's what I was going to say. I don't think at home at night is the best time to be writing.
Oh, not for me.
So
I figured that out.
Maybe we figure out a couple days. You do it early, or you take your lunch break and you do some writing, or you do a Saturday. Half a day on a Saturday or Sunday.
See, that's my problem. Like Saturdays and Sundays,
Busy in the summer with kids.
it's my only time to do anything outside or around my house.
Outside is overrated, though. There's actually studies that show there's no benefits to going outside.
No, I'm saying like
There's
I have
no
to do
benefits
work
to
out
being in
there.
the sunlight. There's no benefits to exercising your body.
There is absolutely
There's-
health benefits to being in the sunlight when it comes to vitamin D because that's the main cause of depression.
You know what the main
wintertime?
cause of skin cancer is? Sunlight.
Sunlight. But you can also like remedy that with
You know what
putting on sunscreen.
You can also remedy it by drinking milk.
No, you
It's
can't.
fortified with vitamin D.
You can't get all of your vitamin D just from milk. It's proven. You can't. You'd be milk clogged.
You know what?
And some people are lactose intolerant.
We don't need that
Christopher.
much vitamin D
No, but you need to
because
get it.
we're white. We absorb a lot.
I know that. But the main cause for depression in the wintertime is lack of sunlight.
I don't
It's
think
from
that has
being
to do
inside.
with vitamin D.
Yes, it does. It's connected. It's proven. It's science.
Then go get in a freaking tanning booth.
It doesn't give you the same vitamin D.
Well, what if you put a sun in there?
You could.
Like a nuclear
Good
fusion
idea.
reactor.
That's a good idea. Let's just get in a fusion reactor.
You know what I want though? I don't buy. I think tanning beds are awful.
They're
things.
terrible.
They should be illegal, in my opinion, because it just makes young girls want to tan, and it's terrible for you.
It's a law now. It's a nationwide law that you can't tan below the age of 18.
You shouldn't be able to tan below the age of ever.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times.
You don't need to be tanned. to
Have
look
you
good.
ever been in a tanning bed?
Yeah, I have.
I have too. And it was
I do
before
like
I went to
2 minutes or 2 or 3 minutes in the tanning bed. It was before I was going to Mexico one time in the middle of the winter, and everybody convinced me, they're like, you got to get a base tan.
That's
which
what I did
is a
too.
fallacy. That doesn't even really
It
exist.
did help me.
Well, there is a certain SPF to a base tan. That's true. But
I'm pretty,
any tan is damage to your skin. When you tan,
Yes.
it's literal mutation and damage to your cells
Cells.
of your skin. It's bad for you.
But
You
it's all,
shouldn't be
it's like
tan.
drawing out the melatonin, isn't it?
I don't know, but you shouldn't be tan.
Huh.
You shouldn't be tan. You should have a sunscreen on when you're outside in the sun, and you should never tan.
That's
No, it's the truth.
I mean, there's no way to not tan though.
I'm not
unless you're
saying that
completely
it's
covered.
realistic. I'm saying that's what you should be doing.
You should be never tanning.
You should,
ever.
yeah, you should never tan. You're not supposed to be tan.
I don't know. I don't think it's 100% damage.
Sure,
if you
it is.
get burnt, you're getting damaged. But just browning is just raising the melatonin in your skin closer to the surface.
I don't know if that's true,
It is. Look it up.
but I know it's really bad for children to be suntanned or sunburned.
Burned, yes. Absolutely.
Like you never get over that as a child, the damage to your skin from being sunburned as a child.
That's why Graham's ears just recently fell off. He did get a pretty good sunburn.
Yeah.
It was the very first
You can't
T-ball.
avoid it with children. I mean, you just can't be on top of it, especially in Illinois,
Well,
where it's cool in the spring.
Yeah, that
but it's
was what
sunny.
happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened. The very first T-ball game we had, Graham was with us out at the park running around, and the tops of his ears, it was like 65, maybe 70.
That's when it really gets you.
Top,
That's when it's 60
tops of his
degrees
ears
out.
got so burnt. One of them started to blister on the back.
Yeah.
Got so burnt. And who would have thought? Nobody was hot. I was wearing jeans. Like, it was just a pleasant day.
Yeah.
But the sun was out, and he got a sunburn. He's super fair-skinned as it is anyways.
The best way to avoid sunburns is to wear
Hats.
full body, like the long sleeves.
Latex suits.
Yeah, full body suits. Robes, if you will.
I love a good robe.
Like, what do they wear in the Middle
you
East?
ever wear a
That's what you
robe?
need. The wrap up in the desert, like the robe.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. It lets you breathe, too.
It does. It's supposed to be way cooler.
Yeah.
And get a black one.
But do you ever have you ever worn a robe, like bathrobe?
Yeah, I recently, a couple of years ago, fairly recently,
Monogrammed?
got my first robe.
And?
I wore it for a long time. I don't really wear it much, but I did stay at a couple fancy hotels that had robes. And that's great.
So,
Robes are pretty good.
I mean, what purpose do they serve?
It's just very they're very comfortable robes.
That's weird. I've never been a robe guy. I've never really worn a robe.
Me neither, but I went to a fancy hotel. I
don't
wore a
even
robe.
know.
It was fantastic. And then when I got home, I'm like, I want a robe. And I got one for like Christmas. And I wore it quite a bit. Yeah.
That's good. I'd like to see.
I also
pictures of it.
I only ever had like a massage once.
I've never had a massage either.
Yeah, it's kind of worth spending some money on.
Really?
An occasional massage.
Amy loves massages.
Yeah, well,
Like, that's her jam.
people say you should get like a weekly massage. I kind of agree with that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What does that do?
It's just it's relaxing. It's like a meditative experience.
All right.
But that's where I was getting at on this.
I could go with
There
that.
is a couple things that I'm really excited to try.
Okay.
I may or may not try them, but I was listening to somebody on a podcast recently. They were talking about saunas, which I hate saunas,
Okay.
but super good for you apparently.
Yeah.
If you do like 20 minutes in a sauna a day, it's like incredibly good for your health.
Really?
Like it's very anti-inflammatory. And it's good
just
for like
getting really
chronic
hot.
disease, and it's just good for your body in general, according to what these people were saying.
Can you create your own sauna at home, like just sitting in a shower that's like scalding?
It has to be hot, man, and no water. Well, like there's different kinds of saunas. There's infrared saunas, there's steam saunas, there's all kinds of different things.
Yeah.
No, it needs to be like a couple hundred degrees, I think.
Holy crap!
Like hot. You don't stay in there very long.
Like
There's super hot ones.
I've been in saunas before
There's super hot ones, like 200-degree ones that you can only stay in for a couple minutes.
because people will pass out.
You get what's called heat shock proteins, apparently.
Holy cow!
Which are very
That's
good
bad
for you. No, that's good for you, apparently.
Oh, that's good.
But anyway, I think a regular sauna is probably not that hot. It's probably like 120 degrees or something, 110 degrees.
You can get those added to your house.
They're not that expensive, really. They're small. They're like the size of a shower.
Yeah,
And you
it's
put
just
them
like
in.
a little room.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
They're self-contained, I believe. They just bring them in, set them in, plumb them, vent them. You're good to go.
I need to get one.
I've only been in a couple saunas, and it's always been the kind where you like dump water on
on rocks.
rocks.
Yep, those are the steam ones.
I don't like steam, so I think I'd want to get the infrared sauna.
Why don't you like steam? It helps you breathe.
It's just it's suffocating.
You think so?
But
even the infrared ones being in such a hot room is somewhat suffocating. It's hard to breathe.
maybe I've never been in one.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, I don't think I have either.
The one time I was in a sauna was when we did our FFA trip to Canada, our camping trip.
Yeah.
And you get so unbelievably bit by mosquitoes because they just swarm every inch of your body nonstop. That after we got out, the first thing we did was all go in the sauna, and it just kind of leaches the
Oh, really? And it worked?
like the itchiness out of you. It
Where-
does work.
Where
yeah.
did you go to a sauna?
They had one right, like the base camp where you get our supplies.
Oh,
one there.
maybe that's why.
Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah,
Yeah.
So we
That's
all went
crazy.
there. I've never been in one of those big sauna rooms where like a bunch
Like
of
a
naked
bunch of
people
guys
hang
are
out.
sitting on tiered benches. And you
Why
can see up
do
there.
men want to hang out naked in a room with other men?
I don't know.
Because like apparently, according to people I've talked to, like there are a lot of dudes that just go in there naked,
Yeah.
like
And just
not wearing a
hang out.
towel, just.
Oh yeah, just
Hang
sack
out, wang out.
drooping. Like, and you're low hanging too in a sauna.
I don't want any part of that.
You gotta be, and you've got to spread your legs so
I've
that your
never
balls
been in
don't
a
stick.
situation where I wanted to be around other naked men.
I'm trying to think if I've had any situations. Let me think.
Well, I've had situations like high school wrestling.
Oh no, I've definitely been around
yeah,
a
you
lot
were
of
in the
naked
military.
men. Believe me, I've been in a lot of showers with naked men.
Well, yeah, I've done. Obviously, in college, we had communal showers.
But I'm trying to think of a situation where I've wanted to be around a bunch of naked men. And I guess it's not popping up in my head.
But those
anywhere.
men must want to. What thought process
I
do you
guess.
have to go into a communal sauna and be like, I could just easily wear a towel around
a towel around your waist.
but you know what? I'm just
Nah.
gonna be completely naked.
I'm just gonna let you look at my junk.
Why?
That's-
Why would anybody want to do that?
So there's a
It's obviously they have some complex that makes them want other people to see them.
maybe they're just proud of themselves.
But-
They're proud of what they got.
You don't. That's a stupid thing to be proud of.
I guess
Like
it
other
really
men
is
and
completely
other men
unnecessary.
looking.
Yeah, it's completely unnecessary.
weird.
Every inch of it unnecessary.
Well, anyway, that was the sauna thing was leading to my next obsession,
Oh boy, here we go.
which I really, really want. I think Snarf Doc should invest in one.
All right,
I want a what's the tanks? The tank.
a sound deprivation chamber.
A tank. Yeah, a
Oh, like
deprivation
a
tank.
deprivation tank.
Yes,
That popped in my
float-
head.
A float tank is what they call them. A float tank.
That literally popped in my head before you even said it. When you said, "What do they call those?" I thought of that. It's weird. I don't know how I thought of it, and I thought that's exactly what you were going to say.
Obsessed with these. There's a couple ones in the suburbs. I want to go up and do one, but I really want one for my house, and they're super expensive.
Oh, are
like
they?
to buy a nice one, they're like $10,000-$20,000.
Oh, jeez.
But there's I
buy
found this
one
other
for
company that has that they're inflatable, and
Really?
you fill them up, and they have all the stuff, but they're like inflatable.
Isn't it just? It has to be sealed up, soundproof.
Yeah, the inflatable ones aren't. You got to put them in a very, very quiet place. They have a certain level of soundproofing.
Okay.
They're not
So
as
it's
good.
it's not the same.
Well,
that
if you have it
doesn't
in a
sound like-
quiet place, then
There's no
it'll be
quiet
fine.
places in our house, Chris.
Well, you wouldn't. Yeah. In any case, it's so amazing. The water is the same exact temperature of your body.
Yeah.
They fill them with Epsom salt, so you float. You're completely float. They're completely dark.
Yep.
Apparently you can like achieve different states of consciousness.
Yeah, like it's like wild for people.
I really want to do it.
I think that'd be really cool too.
We should have up to Naperville and do a Snarf Talk float retreat.
We
and then we'll
should.
come back. It's
And
only
talk about
$50 for an hour.
I would do that.
It's $50 an hour.
100% I would do that.
And then we can report on it.
For 1 hour, float in a tank.
Some people say it feels like
And you're
1 second. I mean,
you're
it feels like it's
completely
over
nude,
immediately.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But we're not in the same tank.
We're in the same tank, right? Like, wait, we're not in the same tank?
Not in the same tank.
I'm out.
We'll have to reserve the nudity for afterwards in the sauna.
Yeah, right. When we get in the
When we
sauna.
do some
Hey, yo,
hot-
Chris, let's get in the
And then we'll
sauna.
do some hot yoga.
Naked.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. No, that would be really cool. I did see some people do that. Who was it that I watched on YouTube do that deprivation tank stuff?
Some people freak out.
I don't know. It's just like the quietest room in the world. Like you get in the quietest room, there's like literally no noise. There's like negative decibels in this room.
To me, the floating thing sounds like the
floating part. Yeah.
Of course, I float in a pool, but
It's not the same.
yeah, you're like float like above the water.
And it's dark.
Yeah,
There's like no light in there.
yeah.
That's wild. I really want to try it.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
What if you were in there for like 5 hours?
And not know it?
Would you get bored?
I don't know.
Or would it?
I don't know.
Wait, at what point does it become torturous?
Well, I mean, do you fall asleep? Do people fall asleep?
Yeah, a lot of people fall asleep.
Is that good?
Yeah, I mean, you can. I wouldn't want to because I feel like
I'd feel like
I
I'd
missed my
drown.
whole experience. You can't drown.
How can you not?
But you don't
What if you roll over?
drown asleep. You would wake up.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
What if you're in some other consciousness that doesn't allow you to wake up and you drowned and die?
I don't think that's
Now
possible.
I'm worried.
First of all, I think that the water is so buoyant that you can't like.
Inhale it in your lungs and drowned?
Yeah, I don't think you can like roll over.
Bull crap. You can roll on a bed. If it's giving you support, you can roll on it.
Yeah, okay. I just don't think it happens because people would talk about it more. There'd be like an epidemic.
You're just not reporting it.
Float tank deaths.
They're literally just burying bodies and not telling anyone that this guy died from drowning in your Epsom salt.
How many people
tank.
pee in them?
All of them.
Like if you're in there for an hour and you get a pee,
Everyone gets so relaxed that you shit in the tank.
well, they filter the water apparently, but I don't know if that would be good enough for me. That's why I'd want my own float tank.
Yeah, you better buy your own, and we'll just try.
Well, we're
that
gonna
one.
do a float tank outing this summer.
Yeah,
and we'll report
I
back.
do really.
I do. I
want
want to
that.
do it.
That's cool.
We'll do a spa day.
All right,
Float tanks,
Snarf Talk Spa Day.
massages, sauna.
This sounds great.
Yeah, that's great.
And Amy and Marley will obviously have to come along.
Yeah, they can come along.
Because as soon as I say anything about a spa day and we mention a massage, Amy's like, bullshit, I'm going with.
Yeah, they can go. They can do all the girly stuff, and we'll do all the manly things.
Right. They can get the masks. We'll
The
get
mask, the mud. I would like to do mudding too.
a mud bath.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
would
would
be
be kind of cool. The volcanic ash.
They can get the mani petties,
Yeah, I don't want that.
and we'll get the man stuff.
Right, the man peds. Ease.
But anyway, float
Yes.
tank.
But anyway, real quick, I got a little bit more news.
Okay, because we got a lot more to cover.
Netflix put out about the Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston movie. Now, Netflix released this, but it's saying that there was 30,869,863 accounts that watched the murder mystery in its first 3 days.
Completely believable. That's not that many people when you think
huge.
about the subscriber base of Netflix.
But then
it's hundreds of millions.
And then worldwide, it was another 17.4 million. So you're looking at almost 50 million people watched that movie in its first 3 days.
Don't they have like worldwide like 1 billion accounts?
I don't know. I have no idea.
It's an insane amount of accounts they have.
It says a Netflix spokesperson confirmed that the data tweeted out was accurate and clarified that Netflix only counts view if members finished at least 70% of the film.
That supports your argument.
Pretty good.
Of course, if you fall asleep and it continues to play, that would be
right. Absolutely, I'm one of those people.
Right.
But that's pretty good. That's making them. Does that really make them any more money, though?
No, it just continues to put content out that makes people not unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Think about it. I mean, if they have 100 million subscribers paying $10 a month, that's $1 billion a month.
Holy smokes.
I mean, I don't think they're making that much, but...
Either way, that's a lot of money.
But they probably spent $100 million to make that movie. I don't know.
Yeah, they could have. But I don't know. I just think that's a lot of people. 50 million people. Did 50 million people watch Avengers?
Probably not.
No, I doubt
probably
it.
Not. No.
When you're talking, $15 a ticket
it made
at a minimum.
$2 billion. So, say $10 a ticket average price would be 200 million people. So yeah, worldwide.
Would it be?
Yeah.
Yeah,
2 billion divided by 10.
You can't average it at $10.
Okay, well then,
no way.
Make it 15, and it's 150 million or 100 million, something like that. So yeah.
Okay. So either way, if it's 100 million and this just had 50 million.
But listen, that movie goes into theaters. Nobody goes to see it.
Exactly. Nobody goes to see it.
It makes $20 million tops.
Correct. So right now, that is getting more views than you could ever get going to theater. So why would people not want to make movies and go to a streaming service to get people to watch their stuff?
First of all, Adam Sandler was 100% the forefront of movie content on streaming services.
Yes.
He was the first person, I think, to sign a multi-picture deal with Netflix. I think he had a 6-picture deal. Most of those movies were pretty terrible.
It says Netflix signed a 4-movie deal with Sandler in 2015.
Yeah, and I watched...
And then
half of those, they were pretty bad.
And it says, and doubled down with a deal for another 4 movies in 2017. So he's doing 8 movies.
They must have been successful. Did you see any of them? There was The Cobbler was one of them.
I didn't watch The Cobbler.
There was a Western.
I didn't watch that one.
There was like a serious one. That's the one I watched, I think. I don't know.
I didn't watch that one either.
I watched one of them that wasn't bad.
I think I have seen one, but honestly, I don't remember it.
Yeah,
I don't remember basically any of them.
I think
know
that's,
I didn't watch The Cobbler.
Netflix's MO now. They're going to sign people like they signed Mark Millar.
Yeah.
They signed Adam Sandler. There's a bunch of other people they've signed.
That'll be awesome. Mark Millar world.
They had a deal with Aziz Ansari, but I think that went away after he got like Me Too'd, so I don't know.
That Ben Affleck movie, Triple Frontier.
But that was different. See, that was a movie that was already in production, and it just couldn't find a home. It says, and Netflix just like, well, we'll buy it.
It says 52 million members, 52 million accounts saw it in its first 4 weeks.
Well, that's pretty good.
This Adam Sandler movie was its first 3 days.
Yeah. Well, Adam Sandler, man, people like him.
That's crazy.
I don't know why people shit on Adam Sandler, but
I love him.
Consistently, he puts out.
I need to watch he has that new stand-up that's on Netflix.
I watched part of it.
I didn't watch any of it yet.
I watched part of it. It was pretty funny.
I've heard it was really good, and then he released a new album, like song album, and it's basically just that stand-up.
That's basically what the special is like songs.
Yeah, and that stand-up is the album that he released, and that's why I thought, oh man, I need to watch this, because there's one song called Station 69 that sounds hilarious.
Yeah, hey, man, his old CDs when we were kids.
I was just listening to him recently.
They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you.
Dude, it was so funny. I was playing Lunch Lady Land, and because that was like the only one that's like the cleanest one that he has besides the Hanukkah song. And Grant heard the Lunch Lady song, and he was like literally cracking up laughing at the table. He doesn't understand what's going on, but it's like he just keeps saying like
meatloaf sandwich.
Yeah, and like hoagies and grinders. And he thought it was so funny. I just like seeing him laugh so much at a song that's like silly like that, just because I do the same thing.
Right.
And I think it's fun. So, what do you got?
We can go. Let's go to what we're watching, because I got
right.
some stuff.
Go.
First thing is the new episode of Swamp Thing.
Oh yeah, episode 3.
Episode 3.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk.
Did you watch it?
Oh yes, sir.
I really enjoyed it.
As did I.
I really enjoyed it.
It's called He Speaks.
Yeah.
And continue.
Go ahead.
So at first, I thought it was a little bit slow.
It was definitely slow.
So
There's no doubt about that.
I argued your point that the show hasn't been slow, and then I started watching this episode, and the first 25 minutes of it were kind of slow because they were kind of trying to fill in some of the story with what what's the one guy's name?
The Floronic Man. Oh, no. Avery Sunderland?
Yes, Avery. What he's been trying to do, and then they followed around.
But they did add a lot of depth to that character.
They did. And that's what that whole 25 minutes was doing. That's basically the purpose of it. The problem is it was just kind of boring.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking the whole time, like, okay, you showed Swamp Thing right off the bat in the beginning of this episode. We haven't seen him for the last 22 minutes. The show's called Swamp Thing.
Right.
It's not called Abby Arcane. We got to get this going. And then they did.
Yeah.
And I really liked what they did with Swamp Thing and Abby Arcane in the office when she goes to Alec Holland's house, lab out in the middle of the swamp. When she goes out there and then he comes in, because it is kind of scary. It's got
they're doing the rot basically.
They are, but the swamp is like infecting people with bugs, I guess, in this situation. But what I really liked them showing was that Swamp Thing grabs the guy and puts his hands on him, and then he has a flashback of who he is and how he got infected, and he literally just says, "Stop."
No, isn't it release
or
him?
Release him? That's right, release him.
It turns out they weren't much of a threat to Swamp Thing. He was
no, not at all.
Didn't really have to even fight them.
I liked that a lot when that's what he said. I don't know why I said stop. He says release him.
Yeah.
That was so cool. I thought that was so
This
cool.
episode officially lost Marley.
Really?
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it a lot. And I will say it is slow. I'm doubling down on the slow.
Yeah.
There are moments of slowness. I think the acting's really good, but it's cheese. It's a little cheesy. And you gotta, but it at a high production value level.
What's explain it?
I thought kind of the rot character was kind of cheesy.
Just him being just his character
I don't
in general.
Like that guy. I'm glad he's gone.
I know you don't like that actor, but he doesn't that actor is no longer a person.
I understand that, but
So he's just being,
that and
the flashbacks of him is what you didn't like.
Yeah, the flashbacks and just we'll see where they go forward.
He's the great value Daryl.
It's like it almost it's almost like a high production level, rubber monster movie type thing, which is totally fine.
You think so?
You just have to kind of go with that, and interlaced with drama, like human drama, basically. It's totally fine, and I'm not worried about it at all. But you just have to come at it with an attitude of a little bit of cheese, a little bit of fun, a little bit of horror, and
I don't think it's cheesy. I think it's like on point with what
I
what
agree.
Swamp
I
Thing
mean,
is.
we'll see with more episodes. I thought it was a great episode. I really liked it. I like that they're moving the story forward. So that's why I understand it's a contradiction when I say it's slow at times, but they are moving the story forward pretty quickly.
They are.
It's just that some of the individual scenes seem to drag on. But
yeah, I would agree.
I think it's almost more of an editing thing than anything. But
and you know where I think that comes from is because they cut it down from 13 to 10.
Maybe, yeah.
And then since they cut it down for 3 episodes, they had to lump it into other episodes and cut it together that way.
I like that they're starting to interweave a lot of side stories. I don't know what's going on with that actor and that voodoo lady.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, the one guy from 90210 is a bad guy called Blue Devil.
Oh, okay.
The Blue Devil.
Yeah, he had a movie. He was the Blue Devil in the movie picture.
He's a stunt man. Yeah, he's a stunt man. And
that totally makes sense. And now that you've said that, okay, I didn't catch that.
Yep, he turns it. I know because of his name. I can't think of it right now because I never can think of it.
They show his movie poster in the first episode.
Yes,
it's like, look, I was in the movie Blue Devil.
Yes, that's his bad guy is the Blue Devil.
Oh, okay, so I'm interested in that storyline. I'm very much liking the Floronic Man, the Jason. What's his name? Who's like the main villain?
Yeah. I think the Blue Devil's going to be involved, though. Obviously, why do you have that character if he's not going to be?
Certainly, yeah,
absolutely
they'll be
involved.
Side villains and stuff, but I think the main one will be the Floronic Man.
Yeah, you're right.
And I liked the backstory that they gave him.
Sure, because he's the whole one who originated this issue, but he was been paid off by. Oh, this is complete spoilers, by the way. I guess
a little late now, but
but whatever. Yeah,
it's not terrible spoilers. I mean, I really feel like these first 3 episodes have done a very good job of setting things up, and I think it's going to vastly. I think they've set it up well.
Yeah. And I think they've set it up well now to where it should really jump off.
It's really going to jump off.
This is
now,
where,
I think.
After episode 3, it should really jump off because now Abby Arcane knows that Alec Holland is Swamp Thing, and Swamp Thing knows he's Alec Holland.
Yeah.
Because they just talk to each other.
Every single major character has been established.
And I'm glad, yes, every character is established.
And their backstory has
now.
been established.
And I'm glad that the Swamp Thing character himself, now that he knows he's Alec Holland, hopefully, they're still going to do it. They're still going to have flashbacks and stuff. But hopefully, they cool it on the flashbacks of, like, who am I? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I think that's what can hold the story back. Because it's like...
I don't think they will cool it quite yet on that because that's the one character left to be established,
right?
Is Swamp Thing himself,
and he's trying to figure out what's going on, but they're gonna have to cool it a little bit because you only have, there's only 1 season,
right?
So
good stuff with Avery Sutherland though. When he goes to the banker, his house, that was a good scene.
Yeah, that is a good scene. He
little
goes
unbelievable,
to the banker's house after the banker had already been at his house and told him. Well, then his wife had told him, like, I'm cutting you off.
Yeah, I know. It's good stuff there.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm in for it. I'm a week-to-week watcher. I won't miss an episode.
Absolutely. This Friday, I will watch it again.
Another thing that I finished watching, which I mentioned before, which is amazing.
Okay.
Incredible. Like, top of the top is Good Omens.
Okay.
On Amazon.
That's the show that I fell asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 6 episode now that I know they finished it. 6 episodes, one and done.
That's it. They're not going to do anymore.
I mean, Neil Gaiman has said apparently this story's been around for
long time,
30 years, 20 years.
Yeah.
The other co-creator of it is not alive anymore. He has said that he would be willing to make more. The cast has said they'd be willing to make more, but there are no plans of that at this point.
Okay.
It's the story completely wraps up.
It's all encompassing.
It's like a mini series, and it's totally, you feel totally satisfied at the end.
Okay.
And I want more just because I love the universe they built, and the characters are incredible, and the actors are amazing, and it's very intriguing, and it's television at its best of the best of the best. It's very, very, very highly recommend. it will go down on my list. I don't know if you can consider it a series or you got to consider it a miniseries, but it'll go very highly down on my list of all time.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So, okay. And
it's subject matter that I absolutely love.
I can't comment on how I like it because, I had set out to watch at least one episode. There were 56 minutes. They're an hour show. And I saw the opening scene and like he gives his sword away, a flaming sword. Cause, what's his name? David Tennant said, didn't you have a flaming sword?
Yeah.
And he's like,
a running joke.
I gave it away. Series. And, so that was fun. I saw that, but honestly, from literally that point on, I know I started like coming in and out and seeing parts of it, and then I was out. And the next time I woke up was literally at the credits of episode 4. I was like, oh boy, that was was a bad one.
I'm gonna tell you, it should win some awards. It's
that's good,
fantastic. David Tennant is freaking amazing.
Yeah,
and the other guy, Michael Sheen, is great. John Hamm is in it. He's phenomenal.
Yes. So that was a part I had woke up for.
Funny and so good.
John Hamm talks about it on the one of the podcasts I listened to him on. He was on David Tennant's podcast. That's what it was. That makes so much sense on why they were talking to each other now. But he talks about Good Omens, and I didn't even put it together that obviously both of them are on the show.
Right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
That's a good episode. You should listen to that podcast just for him.
Yeah, I'm going to start listening to that. Do you got to pay for that one?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, highly recommend. Very, very good.
Good.
The last thing I started watching, much like you, started to watch, fell asleep. Actually, kind of made more of a conscious decision to go to sleep because I didn't have time to finish it.
Yeah.
Was the Deadwood movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I probably watched the
Damn, I forgot about that.
half of it.
Okay.
And no, I didn't go rewatch the series. I haven't watched the series for years.
Yes.
But it dives you, you feel right back at home in it.
How long is it?
I think it's a 2-hour movie.
Okay, I was hoping they were going to give you 2 hours because hour and a half I feel like is way too short.
I don't know for sure, but
because the show itself was an hour episode.
I was surprised that the characters, like I was remembering the original show, pretty good.
Okay.
And it was a little slow.
Okay.
But it was starting to pick up about when I shut it off because I'm like, I can't. It was already midnight and I'm like, I can't.
Right.
And it was starting to pick up at that point. There was a lot of establishment of they were making it so that people that hadn't seen the series like me in a while can get back to where they were.
Up.
Yeah. So there's still a lot I don't remember. So it would be helpful for sure to have recently watched the series.
Uh-huh. That's just such a time commitment.
It's not reasonable. Time
it really isn't. You should have been doing that since March.
I forgot how difficult it is to. It's one of those things, Deadwood, and you have like most of the dialogue makes almost no sense, obviously. So you're just kind of like getting it from their acting.
Yeah.
Like you almost
because of the dialogue of the time period is hard to understand.
I don't think it's real time period dialogue. No, they did it in like a Shakespearean.
I believe it is 100% period accurate.
I don't think so.
No?
No, okay. I don't think they were going like with a Shakespearean bent to it. But yeah, definitely watch it with subtitles on. Makes it a lot easier.
I mean, I don't ever remember watching the series that way.
Well, I watch everything with subtitles on, and it.
You do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Holy crap! Is that annoying?
Really?
I can't stand it.
Oh, every single thing I watch is subtitled.
Why? Are you deaf?
I consume it better
by reading it.
Yeah.
And not looking at the picture.
No, I look at the picture and read.
You can't.
I can.
No, you can't.
You
cannot read the words and see everything that's going on. Well, it's not possible.
Disagree to disagree.
All right. I can settle with that.
But no, it's yeah, it isn't anything spectacular so far, but
But finish
finish it,
finish the movie, and then we'll talk about it because I'm definitely going to watch that.
What have you been? You been watching anything?
So
Real quick,
Yeah.
one more thing.
Yeah.
I saw a promo for a new Netflix show starring David Tennant called Criminal.
Really?
I have no idea if it's based on the comic.
Is that the Ed Brubaker thing?
I don't think it is.
We gotta.
I tried to look up info and I couldn't find. All I found that this show takes place only in an interrogation room.
Oh, that's
not what the comic is. So
no.
But I did see that, and I'm like, I wonder if that's based on the comic because I know that's like one of your favorite comics.
Yeah, it is. Every story is different though, but I don't ever remember.
David Tennant, Haley Atwell to star in Netflix experimental crime series.
Okay, that's
Criminal.
not it then. They're just stealing the name.
To star in Netflix crime anthology, though, which the book is an anthology.
It is. I don't know. Maybe
There's a teaser trailer out.
We'll have to check it out and comment on it. But yeah, that comic book is phenomenal. I loved it.
12 episodes will all take place entirely inside police interrogations room, while unspooling unique crime stories set in 4 different countries: France, Germany, Spain, and the UK, with 3 episodes per country. Talent from each country will write, direct, and star in their respective episodes, which will be produced in the country's native language. Tennant and Atwell will headline the UK entries alongside other people.
Because David Tennant is Scottish, isn't he?
I don't know. I think so.
Yeah, I think he's Scottish. That's cool. I'll be in for that. I'm in for anything David Tennant does. I don't care what it is.
So what have you been watching?
So I started the whole murder mystery thing. What's it called? Murder?
I think it's called Murder Mystery.
Murder Mystery. Yeah. I started it. I made it at least halfway through before I fell asleep for that one. And
I watched the trailer and it did not seem at all interesting to me.
Oh, really? It seemed kind of... I like murder mystery stuff. I think it's funny. I think it can be funny, and I think it's like kind of a cool premise, I guess. It's nothing new, but the first half that I saw, I'm okay with Adam Sandler's character. I think he's kind of funny, but he's kind of a schlub, like a schlubby detective.
Yeah, it's kind of what he
plays. It's him. And he's a good character, I think. I wasn't big on Jennifer Aniston's character.
That's how I felt with the trailer. I looked at that and I'm like, yeah.
She just seems a little off-putting to me.
I don't know that I'm a huge fan in general of Jennifer Aniston. So
I kind of agree, but I thought she was really good in that one movie with Jason Sudeikis that I think is funny.
Where she's a stripper?
Yes. And it's like a... It's
like a road trip movie.
But they're like a paid family. Like he pays all of them.
So like
except for the one...
Robinsons or something.
It's... Meet the something. But the one kid, he's like, you're paying? Wait, you guys are getting paid?
Yeah.
It's like...
He's funny in that movie.
Yeah. That was a good movie. But anyway, that's the only character Jennifer Aniston
We're
said
the Millers.
Yeah, that's a good movie. And her character's pretty good in that one.
Terrible reviews.
This one, she just seems off-putting, and they don't seem like they mesh very well as a married couple. And in the beginning, they're doing that. Like it's their 15-year anniversary. That's why they go to Europe. And they seem a little bit like on the rocks, kind of,
what
in the relationship.
Was off-putting to me was right in the very beginning of that trailer where they're married, right? Their 15-year anniversary, like you said. But they're on the plane, and she goes in and meets this other guy, and then she's automatically like, oh, I'm not married, and like flirting with him. That just drives me insane. I don't like that shit.
I don't think she meant it. Well, she did mean it that way, but then, and he was standing there, and he didn't hear her say that part, but he found her in the room with him, and then they were talking to this really rich guy, and that's the premise of the story is that they go on this guy's yacht because he invites them there. And the whole reason he invited him there is because he's mad at his uncle. His uncle owns like this billions of dollars.
Spoilers.
Yes, spoilers. He owns billions of dollars, and he's basically saying what his will is. Like he's reading his will and where all of his fortune is going to. And he reads it out and says that all of his son, his nephews, nieces, everybody that is in the room, he does not like. he thinks that they're just money hungry, grubby people that have never worked for anything, and he's the only one that worked for all of his billions of dollars, and they get nothing, and he's giving it to his new wife, which was the guy that she talked to on the plane that invited him to the cruise was his wife. She divorced him and married his uncle. And then she's getting all of the money. And then as soon as he reads that, the lights go out and he ends up being killed.
Oh, so it's like Clue.
Yeah. And that's where it starts. It's like Clue. And then Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler are just on the cruise, on the boat with them. They have nothing to do with the family, and they're just kind of like in the middle of it. And they immediately say, like, "You're a detective. Figure this out." And he's like, well, wait a minute. Like, okay, nobody leave this room then. And it goes from there. But they do end up leaving that room and going all over the place. But I haven't seen that part yet, so I don't know. So I'll finish it. I don't think it's anything that I'm going to come back and be like, holy shit, everyone, you got to watch this movie. But if you're bored, I think you could probably watch it. I think it's probably going to be one of the better Adam Sandler movies on Netflix.
Yeah. It looks like it's shot well. There was one that I really wanted to see. There's a couple new movies on Netflix. There was one I probably want to see before that. I think it was called Always Be My Maybe.
Yeah.
That
good. Got really good reviews,
I like
too.
that actor, both those actors.
It's a romantic comedy.
Very much so.
That's where, Zach Stentz, he's a writer. He wrote that Rim of the World that I talked about. That was a pretty decent movie. He was talking about how like child adventures, like kid adventure movies and romantic comedies can now make a resurgence on Netflix because it's the perfect platform for those to come back.
Yeah.
Because a theatrical release is not good for them because, like you said, they will make no money and nobody will go and see that. But on Netflix, they can have 30 million, 20, 30, 40 million people watch them over a weekend and everybody love it. And then, writers can get their stuff out. New original content can be put out there that people enjoy and everyone's happy.
Yeah. Well, I want to see that. I like that actor, the female actor in it. I think it's Ali Wong?
Yeah, she was on the Crazy Rich Asians.
She was?
I thought that's what she was credited with.
Well, she might be in it, but she's not the main character.
No, I'm saying she was just in the movie.
I don't care for her. I just watched her stand-up specials. I don't like her. She's super popular right now.
I didn't know she was a stand-up.
Oh yeah, she's
no idea.
like one. Yeah, she's on. She's got like 2 Netflix specials that were huge.
Okay,
people really like her. I don't think she's funny personally, but
there you go. That's all I've watched.
Baby Cobra she did, and then Hard Knock Wife.
You know what I do watch that I want to promote for him because I don't think he gets enough credit is Jack Black. He's got a YouTube channel called Jablinski Games.
Yeah.
It's his son actually created it. But it's fun. That is a fun.
You've mentioned that before.
It is so fun to watch him.
I just never watch YouTube. I'm like one of the rare non-YouTube watching people.
Jablinski Games is where it's at. He's hilarious. They put it out as like a gaming show, right? And he always talks about the Elgato as his computer. Like he's going to be this big computer gamer. And he always says, no gaming videos this week, guys. The Elgato is not ready. Waiting for parts. Wait for parts for the Elgato. And then it's just him like wandering around. They do go to a lot of arcades and they show them like he's really big into pinball, like old school pinball games. But it's like a behind the scenes of his life, basically. It's just a vlogging channel of his life. It's just really, really fun to watch because the guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
And he seems like a really genuinely good dude. He's really good with his kids. His kids are always with him. He's got 2 sons. And it's just fun.
Yeah.
And right now, Tenacious D is on tour. And so it's been a lot of behind the scenes with Tenacious D's shows and stuff. Super fun. I suggest they're like 13-minute videos, right? And they come out every Friday. Every Friday there's a new video released because it's filmed throughout the week. Really fun.
Yeah. I'll check it out.
Really good waste of time.
Yeah.
Basically, if you have any time to waste, which apparently I do. So there's that. What's next?
That's all I got for what I've been watching. Where are we at on time?
1:40.
Okay. Do you want to do? We had a viewer suggestion to do the Star Wars viewing episode order conversation. Do you want to do that?
We do, yeah, sure.
All right. So we got a. This is kind of a debated topic in the Star Wars community for years. For years, it has been. When we had a listener write in that he would be interested to hear what our thoughts were on the best way to view the Star Wars movies, the best order to view them in. So I kind of brought up a couple different ones that are talked about. But before we talk about those, just without any previous knowledge,
yes,
what do you think?
Just spitballing here?
Yeah.
I mean, I immediately, is a super generic answer, I immediately want to say that you'd watch it 1 through, 9.
Really?
Whenever 9 comes out. That's what I want to say.
Consider that's the way that George Lucas would suggest, apparently, to watch them, is episode 1 through the rest.
But the way I have watched them and the way I feel like is the way you should watch them, technically, is the way they were released. So you watch the original trilogy, and then you watch the next 3, and then you watch the newest ones.
Yeah.
That seems right to me, only because that's the way I've always watched them. And that's the way I feel like the story is told. I don't care what George Lucas said. George Lucas did right by making the first 3 movies and creating the world. After that, not so much.
Right.
He's actually been somewhat of a hindrance to Star Wars.
I don't know about that, but
I would. Yeah. Why not? Why hasn't he been? What has he created in the Star Wars world since the original trilogy that has been positive?
Since the original trilogy?
Yeah.
I mean, the prequels.
Those are positive notes, you think?
I think so.
You do?
To me, all Star Wars is positive.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, generally, yes. And I've never not been excited for a Star Wars anything.
No, absolutely not.
And I never will not be excited for a Star Wars anything.
What would you consider your biggest Star Wars letdown?
My biggest Star Wars letdown would be Anakin Skywalker.
No, like which movie? Like Star Wars movie letdown.
Probably the number 1. The first
The Phantom Menace?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, at the time it wasn't, but looking back.
No, I'm saying at the time.
Oh, okay. Well, it's weird because it was different time periods of my life. So
for sure,
when episode 1 came out, The Phantom Menace, I was so excited for another Star Wars movie. It was not a letdown.
That's exactly
and then
how I feel.
Clone Wars came out, and it was not a letdown because I wanted another Star Wars movie.
Oh boy, Clone. Oh yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about the animated Clone Wars movie.
No,
that was not good.
The second one and the second movie, and then
I maintain that I love Attack of the Clones. I still love that movie.
Yeah,
I'm genuinely surprised when it's constantly rated one of the worst movies.
See, and I don't think it is one of the worst movies. I think The Phantom Menace that shouldn't really even be included.
A lot of people don't.
I agree. I don't think it should be included because it really doesn't do anything for the Star Wars story. You get to see where Anakin comes from, but
you do get a couple things. You get Qui-Gon Jinn. It's a good character.
He doesn't continue on after that. There's no reason to know about him.
Right.
It doesn't do anything for the Skywalker story. Nothing. It just shows you that Ben Kenobi was trained by Qui-Gon Jinn and he gets killed right off the bat. And he does literally nothing to prove that he's a Jedi Master besides die.
Yeah.
And then give you wisdom. Okay, well, that's not much. And then he's literally forgotten about. He's never really even talked about after that. So it's a waste of storyline in my world.
Right.
Like, why not put something in there that has an impact? hone more in on Obi-Wan, which they do a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's one of the biggest main characters. That's the guy you need to learn about, not Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
You know, and even Darth Maul really isn't that big of a character. He's cool.
Becomes a great character later on.
Yeah.
Outside of the movies.
But we're just talking movies here. So in the movie realm,
so basically
not that big of a deal.
So you've touched on the two. So the two biggies obviously are release order. God. So listen, watching
but I would still say
4,
my
5,
letdown.
6, 1, 2, 3, and then on.
Yes.
So that's release order, and then episode order. So which out of those two?
I would say release order.
I would agree totally.
Yeah.
Without a moment's hesitation.
Right.
Because I don't know why. It just seems to be the way that it feels the most natural.
Yeah, that exactly. That's a good point. Like the natural order of the Star Wars world is that way.
Treat the prequels as prequels.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is if somebody's never watched it, the most important thing is to preserve the shock value.
Yes.
That comes in episode 5.
Yeah.
In Empire.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I was going to say is like you don't get the same effect of Star Wars
that Anakin is Darth Vader.
No, it ruins the story. In my world, it ruined the story if you watch it 1 through 5, right? Like if you watch those original movies, it ruins.
Right.
It ruins 4, 5, or 3, 4, and 5.
Now,
4, 5, and 6.
A big argument against release order is that it's almost impossible to watch unless you have the originals, like I do on VHS.
Yeah,
it's almost impossible to get the unupdated original versions of 4, 5, and 6. They've been remastered sometime in the 90s, and they put the Hayden Christensen, right?
Yeah.
In Return of the Jedi.
They did?
Oh, yeah. Remember in the scene at the end when they have Obi-Wan and Yoda as Force ghosts?
Yes.
They edit out the original Darth Vader under the mask Anakin, and they put in young Anakin.
Boy, I don't remember that.
Yeah, they did that. Yep.
That was a George Lucas thing.
My computer.
George Lucas did that, and I don't agree with the way he was taking the story. And I guess that's hard to say because he's the creator of it, right? So how do you say the creator's wrong?
Well, it makes sense from a holistic standpoint when you got the...
Yeah, well, we're not into holistic medicine, okay?
But when you get the prequels that come out and... let's go back to my original question. I was asking you what your biggest letdown was. I believe my biggest letdown in Star Wars movies actually was a movie that I quite enjoyed, and that was Solo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good...
I liked that movie. I did. It didn't really feel like a Star Wars movie to me, though. It was kind of a letdown. So anyway, the kind of topic that we were talking about here is there's a third entry in Star Wars viewing order options that's arisen in popularity recently, and I'm pulling it up right now. But it is called the Machete Order.
Correct.
Do you know about this?
I do know about it, but if you have it in front of you, you could explain it a hell of a lot better than I can.
So, the Machete Order argues that, as we've said, the most important part of viewing these movies is to preserve the surprise. So, how can you ensure that a viewing order keeps its twists and surprise while introducing young Anakin before the end of Return of the Jedi? Watch them in this order. 4, so A New Hope. 5, Empire. That's when you get your big twist. And then, from there, you go back and watch. They skip 1 for whatever reason.
Yeah, they don't even put it in there.
Which I don't agree with. But anyway, call it 1 or 2. And then you go back and watch 1, 2, 3, and then you watch Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
And I think there's a pretty good argument to that, to be honest, because I think the most important thing, honestly, is watching the original Star Wars movie first.
Yes.
And then watching Empire. And then it's fine to go back, in my opinion, go watch 1, 2, and 3, and then get bookended with Return of the Jedi. I think that's a good order. I really do think, honestly, For me, that totally makes sense.
It does make sense in story form.
The point is,
It's
George
all about,
Lucas was all about this is Anakin's story. That's what he wanted.
Yes.
And I don't buy that. I
No.
think Star Wars is Luke's story.
He started Star Wars as Luke's story.
Right. Well, he didn't in his mind, apparently.
Well, I mean, I think he's like reneging on what his actual story was.
I don't think Anakin is the most interesting story.
No. They don't show you Darth Vader the majority of the time.
Right.
The majority of the time is following Luke Skywalker on his adventure.
Right.
So,
and
So
maybe
how-
that's just the way that we viewed them in, but
how can he come back and say it's all about Anakin Skywalker
Well,
when they
because-
don't show you Darth Vader? Who is Anakin Skywalker?
it's because the
Spoilers.
story, according to George Lucas, is the rise, fall, and redemption of Anakin Skywalker.
I don't see it that way.
He's the one that brings balance to the Force.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I get it. I just do you believe that that's the case?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't believe that. To me, it's Luke's story, and I think they've doubled down on that with the last 3 movies.
Yes,
Or
absolutely.
last 2 movies, soon to be 3 movies.
Yeah.
This one, they're arguing for skipping episode 1 because basically it's just jumping on the bandwagon of episode 1's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't think episode 1 is terrible. It gives you Natalie Portman story line, which I think is good.
Yeah, but you still get it in the second one
The
too.
whole pod racer thing is
It's just an unnecessary part of the story.
the argument that they make is that it is relevant, which is what you're saying. It's irrelevant to the saga.
Completely irrelevant. Like you don't get anything about Anakin Skywalker being good at fixing machines after he's become a Jedi at all.
Right.
Or into Jedi training. It's not like he upgrades his lightsaber or does anything with any other droid after that. After they say he created C-3PO.
Right.
None of that's ever spoken of again. C-3PO doesn't even act like he knows who he is.
Huge loophole.
Yeah, that's unnecessary to me. So,
No midichlorians.
yeah, the whole midichlorian thing is a joke.
No virgin birth. Which is also dumb.
Very dumb. So there's another, this is kind of skipping around, but on Reddit there is a proposed watching, like a viewing order where they say it's like grouping the first 6 movies in 3 parts. So you watch 1 and 2, and then it says optional after 2 you watch Rogue One, and then 4 and 5, and then 3 and 6. And that's to preserve the storyline and preserve the surprise of, what Anakin becomes, and then he's
So
his
you're just
father.
thinking of well, Anakin was Luke's. Well, you would know that he was his father, right? Because they mentioned that I think in episode 4. Not that Darth Vader is, but they mentioned that Anakin is. So you would have already gotten some Anakin.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all right. I definitely am in favor of including Rogue One.
Yeah, I am too, because Rogue One's talked about, obviously, or like the whole mission, to get the plans of the Death Star are talked about.
Yeah.
So I think Rogue One is kind of essential to that. I think it would be really great to see in between the movies.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool now that we have it.
So here's what I'm going to say is my preferred viewing order.
Okay.
Rogue One first. Episode 4. Episode 5.
Wait, Rogue One first.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's a direct prequel to Episode 4.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's throw it in there.
Yeah, okay, yeah. No, I completely agree, and that's what this one's talking about, and I like this.
Rogue One, Episode 4, Episode 5, Episode 6 to me, and then go back and watch 1, 2, and 3.
So original viewing order, just adding Rogue One.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think is the best.
I
The one downside to that is the production value is going to take a massive dip going from Rogue One to Episode 4.
Yeah, for sure, but you just got to take that with a grain of salt.
But
You can't change the time frame.
might not be able to take that with a grain of salt. So maybe the best way is to go with the original trilogy first. That way they're not focusing on the fact that it's...
So do you do the original trilogy and then Rogue One and then the first three?
Oh.
Because if you don't do it that way, then you are just going by theatrical release.
I don't think Rogue One, technically, now that I think about it, is essential.
It's not necessarily a standalone story.
It's like more info.
It is. It's just adding a little bit story to it. It's like a what do you want to call it? It's like an offshoot.
Yeah. If I'm gonna go back and watch Star Wars, all of it, I'm probably gonna watch it in viewing order, in episode release. I'm probably gonna watch it 1, 2, 3.
I've never watched it all in one shot like that. I've never watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I did when I was introducing Marley to Star Wars. We watched it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
See, and then
but she never got to. I don't think she ever got to Empire.
Oh, the best one!
I know.
Oh my gosh! And she didn't get to it.
Yeah.
She's got to watch that movie.
Yeah, I know.
So Amy's watched the original trilogy when she was a kid. Her dad loves it. The original trilogy. They watched it all the time. But since then, they've really never watched any of them.
Right.
And even Amy, I don't know if she's caught up because I know she's seen Rogue One. She forgets, though. See, I bring these things up to her, and she's like, oh, wait, which one's that?
Right.
I'll say Rogue One. We just watched that not too long ago. Yeah, but is Luke in that one? No, Luke's not in that one.
Do you think 7 and 8 are vital?
No.
No, I don't think so at all.
I don't think so. Which is kind of sad to say.
Feels like completely different.
It's a different generation.
Yeah.
So it is, even though it's part of the same story, it's a different generation of people and somewhat...
Solo's not at all. I wouldn't throw that in the mix. That's
No.
just confusing things.
I would agree with that being a letdown. I didn't know we were bringing that into the mix. I thought we were just talking about original movies like
Right.
Skywalker
Saga movies.
Saga. Yeah.
Yeah. So, my choice is...
I wouldn't do the machete order myself.
No, I wouldn't either. I feel like it's... First of all, I mean, as somebody that's already seen it, I definitely wouldn't do that order.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I think it's not... I don't think that's good for the story. I think you do have to keep all of them, as much as I don't like the Phantom Menace, really, because it doesn't add to the story. You still kind of need it.
I think you need it. And if the goal here is showing it to kids...
Yeah.
I think that the production value in those movies...
Which we're going to be doing.
...is more current.
Like, I'm going to force all of my children to watch all of these movies.
Yeah, well, I mean, Cash has seen most of them.
See, my boys haven't really seen any of them because they've all, like, I've brought it up, like, let's watch this. They just don't have the attention span to sit down.
Well, he's watched...
It seems like Cash watches movies really well.
He does. He's watched most of them when he was younger, but he probably doesn't even remember now.
I was going to say...
He loved the new one, like Force Awakens and Last Jedi. He likes those. He watches those. If he was going to watch anything, he'd probably watch those.
Yeah. It would be, now that you say it, it is really hard to get kids to watch an older movie like 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Because of the production value. But then again, like, my kids don't seem to be bothered by that
No,
because they
and
love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
The production value is not that bad.
No.
It doesn't feel that dated.
The only thing that feels dated to me that is hard to watch are the lightsaber fights.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you remember the lightsaber fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader?
Well, yeah, that's not really much of a fight, though. But
No, it's
some
not.
of the later ones between Darth Vader and Luke aren't that bad.
It's hard to watch that one. Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. It's literally like what you would do in your backyard with sticks.
Yeah. I mean, clearly for kids, the most fun one is probably Return of the Jedi. There's a lot of action. There's a lot going on.
Yes, and it's funny.
fun.
There's humor.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different aliens that make funny noises. You know what I mean? And do things that kids would enjoy.
Parts of Empire are great for kids, like the whole Hoth scene.
And
is fun.
that movie got kind of shit on because of that, because it was kind of goofy.
Yeah.
originally, like
Well,
when
the
it came
goofy
out.
parts are probably my least favorite parts of that movie.
Yeah.
I love the first scene on
Oh, yeah.
on Tatooine with Jabba.
Oh yes.
I mean, that's what makes that movie.
Yeah, I really like Luke coming back to the whole scene of the crime, like to get Han.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
it's amazing.
It's a really good movie.
And the Hoth scene is great for kids because it's very
Hoth is the best part of Star Wars.
yeah.
I hate snow, but I like that.
Yeah.
I like the whole Empire is just really good, and I've had this battle in my mind ever since we've ranked like movies, like how I ranked Rogue One so high, and I'm still in a battle on what is my favorite, if it's Rogue One or Empire.
Yeah.
Like I put Empire up there, and then we have the argument of why, like when we did Snarf Madness, in Rogue One, spoilers, wins it all.
Yeah.
And
For you.
for me, it did, yeah. What'd you have, like Toy Story 3 or something?
No. I think I had Guardians in the Galaxy.
You did. Yeah. I know. I'm just giving you shit because you had Toy Story 3 like trouncing everything.
It didn't make it to the finals.
It got pretty dang close.
I don't remember. I don't even remember that. That feels like an eons
Snarf
ago.
Madness? We did that on our podcast. It was a big 10-week thing.
Yeah, that's right.
7 weeks, I think.
Can't wait to do it again next year.
Yeah, we're gonna do it again next week.
So, for our listeners that are interested, I'm
I'm
not biting on the machete order.
No, I'm not either. I wouldn't
It's
suggest
too
it.
convoluted for me.
I like this order that is proposed on Reddit with 1, 2, 4, 5, 3, 6.
Yeah.
I like it.
1, 2, 4, 5, 3, 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could go for that.
I think it's kind of a good idea.
Well,
just
first of all,
because-
if we're talking about kids, I'm probably not jumping to show them Rogue One. Rogue One's a
No.
little gritty for kids, so I would probably go with
because it's going like flashbacks here with the 1, 2, and then you have the 4, 5. You're jumping ahead in the story to see Luke and how that goes on with Luke and Darth Vader. You do get the backstory of Anakin having a kid, and that Luke is his kid, but you don't. I still don't think it spoils the whole like I'm your father thing.
yeah. Here's what I'm doing. I've changed my mind. I'm officially going with release order.
You're officially going with release order.
My preferred.
I do agree,
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. That's my official choice.
and I stand behind that. I will too. That's the way I would watch it. That's the way I've always watched it. Like I said, I've literally never watched the 1 through 6 in a row.
Yeah.
That order. I've never done it that way.
I think
Maybe
that's the best way. Show them the older stuff first. That way they don't get spoiled by the new production value.
right. And it's not hard to do.
It's like 2 different movies, really, anyway. 2 different series.
Yeah. Just like this new trilogy is like
They're all completely different.
they're 3 parts.
Right.
3 parts to the story.
The prequels don't really feel like prequels. It's a different story.
It is. Even though, I mean, it is.
So that's what I'm going with.
Okay. I agree. That's what I'm going with as well. Theatrical release it is.
Theatrical release.
Did you have you don't have a what's in the box?
I don't. No.
Oh.
I didn't bring one. Didn't go home.
Oh, you didn't. Oh,
I have not
okay.
been home.
I have a real quick, just like what's in the package.
What's in the package?
So
From Amazon again.
it is from Amazon.
I do have, actually, you know what? If we got some time, I got a what's in my book bag.
We're at 2 hours and 3 minutes.
Perfect.
Hurry up. So
Don't start what's in the bag.
okay, I opened the bag. The bag is open, and Chris has his own bag.
Yep.
Okay, all right. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready. What's in that bag?
So I already knew what was in the bag prior, but you don't. So this ties into an episode we had where we happened to interview a man that writes stuff.
Oh, yeah, Jason Inman.
His name was Jason Inman, and he was talking about and promoting at the time a book that he had written, and it was going to be released. And I had pre-ordered that book directly after that episode, and I received it today. It's called Super Soldiers, a salute to the comic book heroes and villains who fought for their country.
Yeah.
So it's based off of like superheroes, but it also ties into like his time in the military. I'm just going to read the back really quick because it gives a synopsis basically of the book. It says, a celebration of comic book military heroes. A veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom, Jason Inman rediscovers his childhood love of comic books during the long days at the Talil Air Base in southern Iraq. He couldn't help but ask why so many comic books were filled with service members. Is it their loyalty to everyday citizens and the never-ending quest for justice? The men and women who lace up their boots and sacrifice their lives know the battle can change a person. What kinds of soldiers were these fictional characters, and how were they changed by war? Kind of right up my alley.
Yeah, totally.
If you know me. So I'm definitely into this. I want to read it, see what it's all about. I know it has stories of like his deployment, along with it talks about like, you know, Beetle Bailey, Captain America, all of the people that are based in like a military type.
Yeah, I would
comic book
venture
hero.
a guess here that the majority of comic book characters that we know and love today were written by, you know, veterans of World War II.
Yeah,
because
absolutely,
lots of people at the time fought in that war. So, and this stuff all came about mostly in the 60s, and those guys would have been.
He's got a really good little thing here from Brad Meltzer, and Brad Meltzer's a hell of a writer.
Amazing writer. Amazing book writer and comic book writer.
But he said, finally, someone takes a deep dive into two of our best American institutions, from a Captain America to the rest of the elite unit. Get ready to salute.
Sounds great.
So I'm going to read this book and give you a review of it.
And definitely buy it.
It's not huge by any means.
Jason was kind enough to be on our podcast.
Yeah.
He has a great podcast of his own called Geek History Lesson, and everybody should support his work because he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. He's doing what we want to be involved with, you know, and it's a really good podcast. You should listen to that episode.
We live in a world now where people need to directly support creative people that are doing, and not necessarily, you know, I like that he's out there creating stuff.
This chapter is going to be my chapter. It's called Sergeant Rock. So that's a DC character that he's like the Nick Fury.
Nick Fury,
yeah. And it says, it's chapter 10, Sergeant Rock, the strength of an enlisted man.
Nice.
That's me, Sergeant Snyder. That's what I got out as.
There you go.
But yeah, it looks cool. I'm glad I got it. I was getting like email alerts from Amazon for like the last week that this was available and going to be delivered. So I'm kind of excited that it came in. Dan Aykroyd actually has a thing on here.
That's crazy.
Inman demonstrates vividly and entertainingly how the superhero pantheon is firmly rooted in the disciplines, lore, and traditions of American combatants throughout history.
Wow.
That's Dan Aykroyd.
That's deep.
Yeah. That's kind of, how do you get Dan Aykroyd to read this book?
I don't know. That's crazy.
I didn't think he was like that into.
Doesn't he just like make vodka now? Doesn't he make Crystal Skull vodka?
He does?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Crystal Skull vodka, I think is his.
No kidding.
Yeah. He's big into vodka.
I literally just heard that Dan Aykroyd has some sort of like diseases that are like bad.
Well, that stinks. Cause
like he's had it his whole life, though. He's just like battled it his whole life. I'd have to look that up. Somebody Google that and get back to us on
like right now.
On what diseases Dan Aykroyd has.
From the future.
What do you got, Chris?
Well, I know what's in the bag, but if anybody's curious what I carry around in my backpack.
Yeah, I am.
Because
I'd love to know what you
anytime
carry.
I, go on any trip, I throw comic books in my backpack. That's what I do.
Yeah. And you're going on a trip.
Recently, I went
Aren't you?
No, but recently I went on a trip. I can't remember where I went.
Iceland.
Yeah, Iceland. That's right. Mm-hmm. And I packed this book bag that has my laptop on it, and I threw some comics in it. I don't remember what's in there.
Okay.
So let's check it out.
Yeah, let's see.
Graphic novelizations, or trade paperbacks. Saga of Swamp Thing.
Mm-hmm.
Volume 1.
I have like 3 of yours in the basement that I just pulled out recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Paper Girls, Volume 1.
Nice. That's a good one. Did you read all that?
Nope, I haven't read it yet. Batman White Knight.
Did you finish that? Because I need it.
I have not finished it.
Give it to me.
And Saga of Swamp Things, book 2 and 3.
2 and 3, right there. Look at that.
So this is a hefty amount of weight.
That is a lot of reading.
This is what I carry around in my backpack, if anybody's curious.
And you don't read them.
I do read them.
I just asked you 2 out of the 4 or 5 that are there, and you're like,
a lot there.
Nope, didn't read that.
I was reading Swamp Thing. That's
Which
what I've been
ones?
reading. Book 1.
Oh, yeah, that's a good read.
Wherever I packed that for to go on a trip, I didn't end up getting
To read?
Oh, you know what? I had to go. I had a couple days I had to spend in the hospital. Not for me, but
Right.
I was in the waiting room. So I brought those for that.
It's a good idea.
But I ended up not really being able to read because a lot of family members were there, and
Right.
I didn't have time to read. So.
And you can't be like, oh, hey, hang on a second.
I'm
like,
going to read
don't,
this comic book.
don't speak to me. I've got a comic book to read, okay?
I'm sharing it. I can't go meet with the doctor because I'm reading a comic book.
I get to catch up on my swamp thing.
What is this accent?
It's your accent.
Yeah.
This is exactly how Chris talks on a
Comic
day-to-day basis.
book.
You should hear him talk to kids in T-ball. Excuse me, can you step in throw, please?
Excuse me. Get inside the dugout.
What was I going to say? Excuse me, ready position.
Ready
Okay.
position.
Get your glove on the ground. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Chris on a day-to-day basis right there.
That's exactly what I sound like. All right, guys. I think we're at the end of our journey.
Episode 30 is a wrap.
It's a riot, folks.
Yeah.
For Snarf Talk,
I'm Jerry.
and I'm Chris.
Peace.
See you.